Hello, everybody. I'm Matt.
And I'm Maggie.
And we are...
Hopefully awesome.
That's right, a positive place on the internet where we nerd out about all the geeky things we love. And today's geeky things include... The Flash.
Yeah.
And then also Zelda. Again, back in it. We got Avatar and Avatar.
Oh, no.
We also got Harrison Ford. So, because it's a big week. It's a big week, okay? Not really, but we're going to milk the stuff out of it. Because this is the Hopefully Awesome Show, our weekly podcast where Maggie and I chit-chat about all the weekly stuff from the past week. What's up? You okay?
I was just trying to fix my phone so I could see chat.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sorry. And welcome, because like I said, this is the Hopefully Awesome Show, our weekly podcast. We are here to talk all about last week's nerdy news. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope you enjoy your time with us today. Short though it may be, we will all live on in that ever after.
Yeah.
Something like that. So whatever Rocket said in Guardians.
I love you, Floor.
What?
I love you, Floor.
Floor.
Oh, that's the name of the animals.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Anyway. So yeah, we're going to talk about The Flash a little bit later on. So no worries when we go into spoilers. We will make sure you are 100% aware that we are going into spoilers. But before we do that, it's time for the news.
Good news, everyone.
I love it. First story, Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
Via the wrap.
The wrap.
Was you gonna?
A chicken wrap.
Was you gonna?
Oh, whoop.
Hey, no worries.
Sorry.
You got this.
I'm half asleep.
Hey, you know what? Drink you some of that Baja.
I've already taken a big old gulp of it.
Everybody already knows this from yesterday when we did our live episode of the Turtles, going back to the sewers. But the summer of Baja is back, everybody. That's right. Brought to you by Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
We wish.
It's not, but I mean, if it was, that'd be fantastic.
We wish.
Is Baja Blast the best Mountain Dew?
Oh, no. Is it?
The answer is yes. Followed by Code Red. All right.
I have mixed feelings about Code Red.
Via the wrap, Illumination CEO Chris Meledandri.
I think you got
Meledandri. Messed up that time. Denies that they are developing a Legend of Zelda movie.
Aww.
Now, here's the rub, Levinson. Is that true? Or was it just like, I can neither confirm nor deny? You know? Like, is it just like, we're not really doing it? Kind of like how the dude directing Batman and Robin is not the director of The Flash.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not doing it.
Like I called it Batman and Robin. It's Brave and the Bold. That's all it's called. What do you think? What do you think?
I don't, like, yeah, they're already working on Super Mario Brothers 2, right?
Yes. Well, once the writer strike is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just not, maybe he's saying what you said, like, to deny not, whatever.
Yeah.
What's on my shirt?
I think you got like a hair. Got it. All right, there you go. Sorry. But yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking, is that basically the writer strike's happening. They don't have like a full thing going.
No.
And instead of just like going with it and being like, yeah, we're doing a Zelda movie, it's not yet at that place that they should be doing that. And so they're kind of backtracking it.
Yeah, and I could see Nintendo wanting to wait until it's over with.
The writer strike?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got to make sure creatively that it's going to be what they want.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, I kind of believe him. Like right now, it's not happening.
Yeah. Well, last week, of course, we talked about The Legend of Zelda. I think we're going to release that as a standalone video, and I'm just going to import this at the end of it.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, it's happening, and then no, it's not.
No, it's not.
But
Psych.
Maybe.
Psych.
Asterisk.
Is
Second
Santa Claus
story,
real?
Maggie. This is all for you.
Yay!
This is for you, okay? Because I don't know any of this.
So beautiful.
I don't know what any of this is.
I love Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I don't even know.
That's Aang. It's Katara.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Zuko. It's Katara's brother.
Zuko?
That's Zuko. Zuko. Zuko.
Zazu!
No, it's on Zazu from Mulan.
Wait, no. What was Rachel Dratch's character's name in that Boston sketch that they would do? Was it Zazu?
I don't know.
I know Zazu is also like
Lion
the
King.
Lion King, yes. But remember when like, no ma! And like, you are, and they'd make out, and Ben Affleck was there. You remember that?
And like one time there was like prom and they made their elbows look like
Yeah,
butts.
exactly, yes.
Yeah.
I think her name was Zazu. 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 I don't even know. Anyway, that's what that reminded me of. Hey, this is the first look at Netflix's live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender series that is releasing in 2024. Maggie, take it away.
Is there any notes to read off of? I don't know the names of these actors.
No, just tell, like, you don't have to explain it there. Just as an Avatar fan, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm pretty excited. I love the series.
Does
it's
it look
great.
better or worse than the M. Night Shyamalan?
It looks better.
Does it?
Yes.
It looks the exact same to me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It looks better.
Yeah, that one guy from the newsroom was in that movie.
Which guy from the newsroom?
The guy that did the website. Had to.
You're not helping me.
He did the website, and then like he ended up being like an enemy of the state or something, and like he had to go away, and that's why they put Jeff Bridges in prison because he wouldn't tell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He was in the first one.
Oh, okay.
Or the
No,
original. I don't even know.
I mean, this is going to be a show, so I think it's going to be easier to follow along.
Yeah,
because M. Night Shyamalan movie was
just a lot.
It just fast forward through a lot of stuff.
Was it like the whole story condensed into one movie?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
It was so every season's called a chapter.
okay, kind of like Heroes.
Yeah, and like
Woo!
Jeriana.
Sorry, I meant this button.
Chapter 1, I believe, is called Water or Air. I can't remember which one.
Gotcha.
So, and like, he is the Avatar. He is the chosen one. He is supposed to learn all 4 elements of fighting.
Okay.
Which is air, water, earth, and fire.
Heart.
No heart.
Captain. Now, okay, help me understand. Like, when do they become blue?
What do you mean blue?
Well, this is Avatar, right?
No,
So, like,
wrong
when do they
Avatar,
become...
Matt. That's James Cameron. This has nothing
You
to do
lost
with
me.
old James there.
You already lost me.
Has nothing to do with old Jim.
Jim Cameron.
Yeah. But I love the fact Zuko looks very, very much
Zuko!
like the cartoon. I love it. It looks more colorful too compared to the other movie.
Which one of these is Bulma?
I know you're doing this to put on a show.
Why
I'm
is he
about
having
ready
an
to
arrow?
backhand
Why is he having an
you.
arrow on his head?
Because the air
Oh, is he air?
the air tribe, yeah. Because every like
Wait. I got it. Can I tell you what it is? I know nothing about Avatar. I know next to dick about Avatar. Ready? Here's the plot of Avatar. Ever so often, there's one that has all 4, and they're gonna unite all of the tribes back together.
yes, but the thing is he
Nailed
doesn't know all 4. He only knows one, and it's air because he was raised by the air tribe.
But he's gotta be the Avatar.
Yeah, so he has to learn everything.
it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the great thing about this.
This is divergent.
And the fire,
this is just divergent.
And the fire, I don't think they call them
Zazu?
tribes.
I'm sorry. I'm poking the bear. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
The wrong bear today.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But the fire tribe or fire, I can't remember what they
Just
call
call them
themselves.
tribes. It don't matter.
But they kind of rule the land, like whatever they say goes.
Oh, is it? I'm not being a dick right now. It's kind of like Ryan the Last Dragon.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Boom. Will it be good?
I think so. And these two are brother and sister.
But
They're from the
different.
water tribe.
Oh.
Yeah, they're brother and sister.
Wait, so there's wind, fire.
No, there's no
water.
wind. No. Okay.
There's air.
There's air, water, fire, and earth.
Okay.
You don't like you see people from Earth,
Yeah.
like the tribe,
Yeah.
but he doesn't learn the powers of Earth until later.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Which is a really fun part. So
Is he like, with our powers combined?
No.
Okay. Do they have to do like a thing where like all their beams have to like come together and
No.
it makes one beam?
Nope.
Are there beams?
There's no beams, Matt. His
This is getting worse
eyes
all the
do
time.
glow
Okay.
when he hits the avatar state, and the arrows on him will glow because
And
he's got
his-
arrows on his hands too.
His daughter's Cora.
No. No, it's not his daughter. Every 1,000 years, there is a new avatar.
Into each generation, a slayer is born, one who will have the powers to defeat the vampires, the demons, and those alike. She is called the Slayer.
Wish I had some Avatar fans in chat to back
Buffy.
me up.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, Matt, but we're not talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Anything else you want to say about? I mean, you could say here. Tell you what, this is what we're gonna do.
No.
Matt's gonna sit over here. I'm gonna turn my microphone off.
No, he's not.
Have at it.
It's too late now. I've already explained most of it.
So you have nothing else to say?
I don't think people will hear you.
So you got nothing else to say?
No.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
Story number 3. All right, buckle up.
Oh, God.
This one's gonna be good. Oh, I didn't mention they announced that at the Tudum event.
what?
The Tudum event.
Tudum? What's a Tudum?
The Netflix. That's the Netflix.
Why does
event.
Netflix have anything to do with Disney?
No. In the last story,
Yeah. Oh, they announced
they
it.
at their Tudum event, and it's called Tudum because that's what that sounds.
I know
like.
that's the Netflix sound, Matt. But
Tudum.
it just they announced it at the Tudum.
That's what it's called. What do you want me to say? They announced it at the Tudum event.
They announced it at the Netflix event.
It's not called the Netflix event, Maggie. Anyway, Disney announces new release dates and delays
Ha!
for upcoming movies.
Old Bobby Boy is cutting budget, guys. Watch out.
He's like, we gotta spread this shit out.
And he's
we,
like-
we can't have 40 Marvel projects coming out in
No.
1 year again. That shit murdered us.
Yeah, that effort that was here before me really just.
Fuck Bob.
Wait, no, don't say that. I'm Bob.
No, I'm Bob, and I'm saying fuck Bob.
The other Bob. Oh, there you go. Bob. Bob.
Bob.
Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
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 Hi.
What about Bob? Three
Oh my God.
Star Wars movies got announced. Their release dates:
Whoop, whoop.
May 22nd, 2026, December 18th, 2026, and December 17th, 2027. Yeah, the last time we had 2 movies in the same year was when we got, or within a 6-month period, and it wasn't technically the same year. Was the 8th movie, The Last Jedi. There it is.
There you go.
I kept wanting to say Return, and I was like, that's not it.
No.
It's The Last Jedi, followed by Solo.
Ah.
The 1-2 punch that killed the franchise. Theatrical run.
I guess
I mean,
so.
that's what happened. And I mean, 9 wasn't doing anybody any favors either. So it's interesting that they're kind of doing that. Also interesting that they're releasing the last 2 that they've announced in December. Interestingly enough. I mean, I guess really like the new trilogy, most of them took place in December, I guess. Now that I'm thinking about it.
They did. It was always winter.
There was like somebody was on Twitter saying that they felt old because somebody was like, it feels weird having a Star Wars come out in summer. It's a Christmas franchise, and it's like, Jesus. No, it was a summer movie forever until Disney got it. Anyway.
God, shut up. Buttholes.
The new Alien movie will get a theatrical release on August 16th, 2024. It's just a little over a year away. I have no idea about this. This isn't the show that the dude that did Fargo is doing, and also did that other X-Men show with Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, we never watched it.
Watched like 2 episodes of it, I think.
So we're getting a new Alien movie, which is kind of cool.
That's kind of exciting.
I have no idea, obviously, what the deal is. Like, is it a reboot? I don't even know. I literally didn't even know it existed until I copied and pasted this.
The magic of Disney, Matt.
I mean, listen, Predator, the last one, Prey, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they can do something like that, but for Alien, whatever. And I'll always have Prometheus, you know?
Yes.
And I'll also always have Alien Covenant, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Lastly, we've got major MCU delays. Okay, so here's a big
I saw
bunch.
some of the dates.
Here we go. You ready for this? The only one that was good was Deadpool 3 got moved up.
Yeah.
To May 3rd, 2024.
So in other words, they're trying to get the Deadpool the F out of the way.
No, I mean, I think they're giving Deadpool the May date, which is their big date.
I guess they have hope. I have hope for it too, but
they believe that it's going to be their biggest seller. Like, that's why it's in the May date.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do that.
No.
Like, they only put it in the first week of May,
yes.
like, to kick it off.
Yeah.
That's where the Avengers goes. That's where Endgame, the other Infinity War, Guardians, Iron Mans.
Yeah.
Like, all the Iron Mans. Yeah, they all went there. Not the first Guardians that actually came out in August. Anyway, but the rest of these got delayed, got pushed back. So we have Captain America: Brave New World not coming out until August 26, 2024. Literally 10 days after the Alien movie. That doesn't. That sounds like that's going to change. Like, why would they compete against themselves? You know, the Thunderbolts got pushed back to December 20th, 2024. So again, we're getting a December. That's weird. We're gonna December.
They must be wanting to fight against themselves.
Oh, did I say Thunderbolts? That's so random. Like, they think that that's gonna do good enough to warrant a Christmas release. See, here's what you do at Christmas time. You release something that's gonna do gangbusters, something that's worthy of an Oscar, or something to get buried. And like, you have plausible deniability by being like, "Hey man, it's not our fault. Fucking Lincoln came out and in
slaughtered us.
in a twist of fate, he shot all of us in the head."
Man, you went dark.
I'm sorry, too soon.
Too soon, Matt.
When can I start making fun of Abraham Lincoln getting assassinated?
Never. Never. It's too soon.
Is 300 years not enough?
It's too soon.
All right. Blade now coming out on February 14th, 2025, which is, of course, Valentine's Day. It worked out well for Deadpool. For the first Deadpool. So
that was funny.
This Valentine's Day, Blade's gonna give you his heart right out of your fucking chest.
He's gonna pull it right out.
Because inside of each generation, a Slayer is born.
God.
Coming out May 2nd, 2025. Speaking of these May dates, Fantastic Four. And then I don't know if they're just not releasing anything between these, but the next May 1st, 26, is Kang Dynasty. And then the following May 7th, 27, is Secret Wars. And now those were originally 6 months apart. And now
I bet Bob went to
year.
Kevin Feige. He's like, listen, I think our dishwasher has something going.
It's okay. It's fine. If anybody hears that in the background, it's just our dishwasher. I may have put a ladle in the wrong spot. Anyway.
I think old Bob went up to Kevin Feige. He's like, listen, if you want to stay where you're at and making the money that you do, you better listen to me right now, or else we are going to be effed in the butt.
Your BF's about to get effed in the B. No, I don't know. I don't know if that's how it went down. It may have just been, he may have been like, "Hey, Kevin, what can we do?" And Kevin's like, "You know what? Bob, let me tell you. How do I do this?
Now, Kevin, I think you should cut the Thunderbolts.
Or at least bury it in December. Like, even like Captain America would have made sense in December.
Yeah.
Because that's like a known brand. Nobody knows what the fuck the Thunderbolts are. Not yet.
Not yet.
And I mean, like, think about like what we're building off of. I mean, you got Banksy, right? It's Bucky.
Oh.
You got Bucky.
Like, help me out here.
You got American Agent.
Oh.
You got not Black Widow.
Yeah.
Which Florence Pugh, she's good. So I mean
Yeah.
that could be. You got David Harbour's Russian Captain Russia. And you got, I don't even know.
Haley Steinfeld.
No, she's not in Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts are the bad guys.
Oh. I don't know.
Zemo, maybe? Zemo in it?
Do we get just a whole hour of Zemo dancing in a club?
Abomination, maybe? Yeah. See, like, it's a weird, it's like their Suicide Squad, essentially. Like, it's all the bad guys, but they're doing like Black Ops stuff. I don't know. I mean, it'll be good. I'll enjoy it, but like, you know, it definitely feels like they're trying to bury it more than they're trying to do anything. Lastly, Maggie, and this is fun. This is a fun one. Okay, you ready for this? Avatars. The next 3 sequels have all been delayed.
Oh, crap.
All right.
Jim's not going to be happy.
Now, keep in mind, originally, all 5 the Avatar movies were to have been released by 2027.
Oh, no.
Okay.
What have they done to Jim?
Avatar 3 has been delayed until December 19th, 2025. Avatar 4 is December 21st, 2029. And Avatar 5, and this, I feel like I'm in fucking Blade Runner when I read this.
2030.
Avatar 5 does not release currently until December 19th, 2031. That just feels weird to say out loud. 2031. Granted, that's 8 years away.
Well, and
but still, that's so weird.
I saw a tweet. They said by the time the last one comes out, that it'd be like X amount of years that had passed since the first Avatar.
Well, I know Zoe Saldana said she'd be, I think, 54, and she was 27 when the first one came out, or when she started.
Yeah.
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 It's so bizarre, man. Like, I don't know. I love Avatar 2. I thought Avatar 2 was great.
Yeah.
Like, we have a whole video about it. Go check it out.
Shout out to Zeppelin. I was told by his mother today that he's been trying to work on holding his breath underwater because he wants to be like
Spider.
The Avatar people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Spider.
Not so much Spider. He just wants to be able to breathe underwater.
It's sad. Spider cut off his nose to Spider's face.
Huh?
Shout
out to you, Zep.
Anyway, it's bizarre. It's weird. Any thoughts about any of that?
I mean, some things I'm happy that we're getting sooner. Like, we're getting Deadpool.
And the Star Wars movies.
And Star Wars movies. And, I mean, Captain America. I know
it got pushed back.
It got pushed back, but we're still going to get it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's still Anthony Mackie. And, you know.
And also, we have
Harrison
the Marvels
Ford.
coming up, too. So.
Yeah, because that got pushed from July to November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's things to look forward to. I hate that Blade got pushed back.
I don't know. Blade is starting to become the next Flash. Where
I think
I don't know
Blade's
if it's
becoming
ever
the
gonna...
next G.I. Joe movie.
No.
That one clip of the truck doing
Bruce
a donut.
Willis.
Yeah.
Shot 3 days, got $5 million. If anything, I think it'll be like the Flash. I don't know if it'll end up being to the quality of the Flash. Foreshadowing. But I do think that this is just one of those that's already just suffered so much delay. Like they had first announced Blade back like right after Endgame came out.
Yeah. And like, you know, was it? No, it's I can't.
Mahershala Ali. Yeah.
Like him walking across stage having the Blade hat on.
Yeah.
Everybody losing their crap over it.
Yeah. It's I think 2019.
Yeah, and also we only heard his voice in the post-credit scene of Eternals.
Yeah, they really didn't know what the hell they were doing.
No,
in
they
Phase 4, I guess, is what it was.
Didn't.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic for another day. Anything else you'd like to say about these Disney? How does it make you feel thinking about a movie being announced for 2031. How do you feel about that?
If I have to be honest, Matt, I'll be 42 then, so.
Oh, that means I'll be 44.
And Viv will be 11.
At first, in my head, I was like, she'll be 21. And then I was like, wait, no, that's not
she'll
right.
Be 11,
that's
man.
not right. So, I mean, she'll be old enough to go watch it. All right. We're sticking with Disney for a little bit longer, but you can go to the next one, yeah. Elemental. So everybody buckle up.
Oh,
I just
boy.
keep saying
I already know what this is going to say.
Via discussing film, Pixar's Elemental earns $29.5 million in the film's domestic opening weekend. It is the lowest Pixar opening in history. The lowest one. And now, here's the thing. We have not got to watch Elemental. I don't know if we'll get to watch Elemental. And I think that's a big problem as to why they've only made $29.5 million, which this whole conversation, this piece will expand upon here in just a moment. But I have heard it's really good. I've heard it's like one of the best.
I've heard it's got a really good story.
Yeah.
But I've also seen people just crapping on it online just to be crapping on it.
That's what people do.
Yeah.
That's the online culture for you.
Like they say, it looks like crap. And I'm like, no, it doesn't look like crap. That's a walking, talking fire and water walking around.
Some of y'all didn't watch Luca and it shows, okay? Silencio Bruno!
Let me tell you all something. Do you remember Osmosis Jones and how crappy it looked?
Okay, I thought you was about to say Osmosis Jones was good.
No.
Okay.
It looked like crap. So
Niles from Frasier was in that.
I know he was the medicine.
Yep.
And Chris Rock was the black blood cell.
I got a body. It's 2 days in a row I've referenced that Chris Rock movie. All right, listen. This isn't the end of it.
We gotta go.
Pixar CEO Peter Docter says recent releases have trained audiences that these films will be available for you on Disney Plus. It's more expensive for a family of four to go to a theater when they know they can just wait. And it's true.
It's kind of true.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of the reason we aren't like rushing to go see it. You know, not that it'll be free, but it's just like, you know, we don't have to get a babysitter lined up. You know, if we were gonna go watch something. Like, I mean, they're releasing a new movie literally every week.
Yes,
so it's like, what
summer.
can we skip to not, you know? And granted, I think this weekend there's not really a big movie that we're going to watch. But at the same time, like, you know, I'd rather just wait on it. You know, I want Viv to be able to watch it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't know either, man.
But, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, Pixar, all they make is sequels. And, you know, bitching and moaning about that. But then when they make something original, nobody goes and watches it.
Yeah.
So... But at the same time, they also made Lightyear, which was not good.
No, and then also I think that kind of left a bad taste in some people's mouths.
I'm trying to think of, like, honestly, the last few Disney animated movies since, like, Encanto.
And Luca.
Was Luca after?
It was like, no, it was before. I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember. It's too difficult.
No, it was before. Luca was before.
Okay. Because, like, the most recent ones have just, like, Encanto was great.
Yes.
And Luca was really good.
Yes.
Again, neither came out in theaters.
No.
And Turning Red was also
Turning
fantastic.
Red was really
Love
good.
Turning Red, yeah. But, like, that Strange Worlds and Lightyear and, like, and then, like, I don't know. It's just, it's a tough sell. It's weird.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know. It's you know, Pixar's been doing this thing for, what, 30 years now?
Yeah.
And it's like... Yeah. Maybe they need to change things up because, like, now there's, I mean, it's been like this for a while, but, like, now there's the Pixar storytelling way, right? Like, you go, just like you go watch a Marvel movie, you know what you're going to get. You go watch a Pixar movie, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that's starting to teeter on being boring, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think the first time that it hit me that I was like, they're not as perfect as they used to be was The Good Dinosaur. It's not bad.
No, it's not. I actually rewatched it this past year.
Yeah.
And
it's not bad.
It's not horrible.
I mean,
it's still sweet.
It's not a classic Pixar movie. You know, it's
no,
not
it's
WALL-E.
not. No, it's not. Oh,
You know.
God, no, it's not WALL-E.
It's
Right,
not
Jerriana?
Up. It's not Up.
No, it's not Up. And also Jerriana. Jerriana introduced me to those. That's why I'm hollering at
To
her.
what? To WALL-E?
To WALL-E and Up. Me and her watched it on my computer. We were about to live by myself.
That was actually a decent WALL-E impression.
Eva.
I lost it.
Eva.
All right, moving on. Still sticking with Disney.
Oh, Lord. Oh, no.
Via Variety.
Oh, no.
Speaking of Pixar's movies not doing great, so they're going back to the well. Toy Story 5
God, that makes me want to puke.
will feature both Woody and Buzz.
No, it can't.
It
It can't.
Yep. It'll be both of them. What does that mean? What does it mean?
That either one, Bonnie and her family show up at the place with the carnival and they find Woody
Well, it's a
and
traveling
Bo Peep.
carnival, so maybe they go back
Woody
to
and Bo Peep.
to
Or,
this town.
yeah. Or somehow, I don't know.
Reboot. Multiverse. Do a rebooted multiverse of Toy Story. Think about it, we already got Lightyear out there somewhere. You know. Boom.
I turned on Toy Story 4 for my kindergartners towards the end of the year. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember why I didn't.
We loved Toy Story 4. What the hell are you talking about?
Stick with me like the third one did.
Well, yeah, the third one's perfect.
Yes.
But
why
here's the
did they
thing.
have to make another one?
Here's the thing. You take out Toy Story 2, okay?
Yeah.
You go Toy Story 1, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4. Perfect trilogy. Boom. Boom. I said it. That's how it works. All right? Toy Story 2, it doesn't matter. It was originally made for TV movie.
Yeah.
All right? Or made for VHS. And then they were like, hey, you know
I
what?
enjoyed
Fuck it. It's not good. We're Stinky Pete. We already had this conversation. All right? I don't even want to go there.
I love bringing this up. I get so mad.
Anyway, Toy Story 5. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't care anymore. To be honest.
That's what I'm
Like,
just
are we gonna watch it? Probably.
Probably.
I mean, we've watched all the others, but like, I'm not excited to watch it.
The first Toy Story was like what?
96?
Six.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, and then 98 was
Yeah.
Bug's Life, and 2000
Yeah.
was
Like,
Finding Nemo.
okay, Toy Story has been with me since like
Right, 2003 was Finding Nemo.
kindergarten / first grade ish. Because I can't, like, I just remember going to the theater with my aunt, and my cousin to watch it. And afterwards, we went to Walmart, I think.
Yeah.
And my cousin and I got to pick out a toy each because my aunt said, I'll buy you all one.
Mm.
And I got Woody, and she got Buzz.
You got Woody.
Yeah, I got Woody.
I'll be honest. That's the main reason I liked Woody was boners.
No, it wasn't.
I swear.
No, it wasn't.
We had one of those electric fish tanks that like it wasn't real fish. They were just like magnets, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like you turn it on, excuse me, and like they just swim around. And there's two fish. I named one of them. I don't know who else named the other one. Probably one of my brothers. Named him Woody. I was like, yeah, it's Toy Story. Boners.
Wow.
Yeah. I was an 11-year-old fuck. What do you want from me, you know? 11-year-old kid trying to figure out the world wearing the devil doesn't do drugs or some shit t-shirts.
Listen to Reality Check.
Hell yeah, I was listening to Reality Check. Shit, yeah. Anything else?
No. Let it die.
Via discussing film, the rights for the Incredible Hulk film reverted back to Marvel Studios.
What?
Which is why the film is in Disney Plus now. Just the film.
Just the film.
Not the,
not
the future rights, like to make another movie.
No, I know that.
The Universal owns the rights for 15 years, and that's why it's now.
But that's a big deal, though.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, it's officially, you're kind of ready to watch pretty much all the MCU, except you're still missing 2 Spider-Man movies, but those will be coming over at some point.
Yeah, apparently Venom's part of the Spider-Man collection on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's the MTV
cool.
Spider-Man. So,
that's so cool.
But yeah, so I mean that's kind of cool. I think the Incredible Hulk, it gets a bad rap. It does. I think
it does.
I thought it was good.
I liked it way better than Ang Lee's Hulk.
When he punched the poodle. I mean, don't get me wrong. All of these, like compared to what we're getting now.
Yeah.
But I mean, back then.
Then that was like, holy crap!
I'd rather watch this over Thor.
Yeah.
That's where I was at, and I liked Edward Norton.
Yeah. I did too.
And Betty Boop. She's coming back.
Liv
Oh,
Tyler.
what are the odds, huh? They get this right back, and now she's going to be in Thunderbolts?
They play
Or Captain America, or whatever.
Captain America match.
Whichever one she's in. It doesn't matter. You want another Hulk movie? Will we get Edward Norton's Hulk back in Secret Wars?
No.
Maggie, here's the thing.
No.
Foreshadowing. But I think maybe people would be accepted of having other people as characters that they already know showing up in the same movie. Foreshadowing. All right, and this is going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
This is wrapping up the news for us.
I'm Red Hulk. Where's my pants?
Maggie, you're going to love this. You're going to
Okay.
love this, okay?
Okay. Is it? Wait.
It's another quote.
Okay. It's not the same
These are
one,
the
is
best.
it?
No. The last one was something about like who would win in a fight, Indiana Jones or Han Solo, and he's like, I don't fucking care, or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So this one is somebody asked him if he would turn into Red Hulk in Captain America: Brave New World, and his response was, "What is a Red Hulk?"
Yeah, you didn't know what it was. I read that.
Just, what is a Red Hulk?
I hope
It's
Anthony
great.
Mackie was beside of him when he, like, if they did these interviews, you know how they do stuff. I hope Anthony Mackie was sitting there like, dude, cut the check.
Oh my god! Apparently they're like best buddies on the set. I mean, I'm all for it, man.
I'm all for. I wish I could be best buddies with him.
Dude, I would watch a buddy movie, just not even about Marvel or anything. It's just Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie just fucking around. Like, I don't even know what they do, you know?
Rob a bank.
Let's have them. Here's what we do, okay? We remake Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But
Yes.
with Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford, and they're both Steve Martin's character.
Oh God, no, you can't have the same. Oh my God, that's
I mean, which one of them would be John Candy? Neither of them fits that.
no.
Yeah.
But oh God, because that. Oh gosh, he was so uptight. You can't have two uptight people.
That's true.
You can't do it. It won't work.
It's
They
not
won't
called-
change.
They're not called the same couple. They're called the odd couple. That's what makes it work, you know.
Yeah, Matthew Perry and Tom Lennon.
God damn you. All right. Anything else you want to say about Harrison Ford and Red Hulk and all that?
It'd be pretty great to see him Hulk out.
Yeah, honestly, the longer he stays in the news, the better. Because if we can just make a news segment where we end the news every week with a new quote from him, I would
Keep it
be all
coming.
for it.
Keep it coming, Harrison. Keep it coming.
You got it, Harry. Harry Ford.
No, don't call him Harry.
That's some bad hat, Harry.
He doesn't like that.
Oh wait, I think that's fucking Dick's production company.
Oh yeah. Don't.
Yeah. Anyway, all right,
on.
moving on. That's right, everybody. Now here's the rub. All right, we're getting ready to talk about The Flash.
Yes.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to do spoiler free. If this is your first time watching, we'll do spoiler free, and then we go into spoilers immediately after. So you can stick around with us if you've not watched The Flash, and then once we go into spoilers, we'll pop up this screen.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. Boom. We'll have this screen on there, and you'll be able to tell, like, oh, they're talking spoilers. Then once it's gone, we will be going back to rank The Flash in both our summer 2023 ranking and our DCEU ranking, which we might have to rearrange a couple
I can't
things.
imagine what that list looks like.
It's
been
terrible.
So long.
It's terrible. I can already tell you it's terrible. I haven't even looked at it, and I know Black Adam's way too high.
Yeah.
Like, I can already tell you that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do. So everybody, get ready,
Buckle up.
because it's time for the main topic.
I ran out of breath.
That's okay. We all ran out of breath.
Let's get nuts.
The Flash 2023 is the year. And The Flash finally released in theaters after 2 decades of being in development. What? Ow!
I pinched him. It actually happened, guys.
That's true. I didn't believe it was real until...
He never thought it would be real until
I
it
said,
happened.
until the credits are rolling in the theater, I will not believe this movie is real. And you know what? The credits rolled.
The credits rolled.
And guess what?
got
Boom. Look at that. You want
Look
to show
at
it
the
off?
bucket. It lights up.
So this is the bucket. As you know, we've been getting some buckets.
Yeah. Some interesting buckets.
We also got the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. And Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. So far, I think number one,
Spider-Gwen?
and then number 2,
Yeah.
number 3.
Oh, and also the Little Mermaid bucket.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Like, it's fine. It's not even over here.
No, it's not.
Like,
it's
it's
in her
fine.
bedroom.
It's fine. But, like, I feel like Optimus is better than this.
Yeah.
Or better than the Little Mermaid. But the textures on this one's really good.
Yeah, it's because it's like the suit. I'm going to turn the light off.
I really like it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's great. Probably too much money spent on it. So, The Flash finally hit theaters. Maggie, let me tell you, I'm wearing a Green Lantern shirt. Yep. Okay? Green Lantern was a movie that came out 10 years ago. The same year that Captain America, the first Avenger, came out was the year Green Lantern came out. Okay? The entire run of the MCU has taken place since the Green Lantern came out. Now, you ready for this?
Barf bucket.
You ready for this? They announced Green Lantern and the Flash were both in pre-production at the same time.
I guess you are right. It is 2 decades. Yeah. Holy
Dude,
crap.
I'm telling you, man. At one point, Bradley Cooper was on the short list for being Barry. And then I think Neil Patrick Harris might have been at one point.
Oh God, that was.
Yeah, I mean, this was like 2008.
Oh, I know,
okay.
I know. That's why I'm trying to get my head in that space, but it's just like Bradley Cooper back then. Yeah, I could totally seen it happen. He would have been hilarious. I think
Bradley Cooper would have been a great Hal Jordan as well.
Yeah,
love Ryan Reynolds, but he would have been a great Hal Jordan also.
Yes, he would have, because he can definitely play that personality very well.
And you gotta think, this is Alias, Bradley Cooper. So I mean, like,
oh my God,
he hadn't even been in The Hangover yet.
No.
So I mean, like, he was right on the verge. And who else had but tested? It was I think Justin Timberlake tested for Green Lantern.
What?
And then he ended up getting out of time instead. Which, I mean, was that the right call? I don't know. I mean, who can say? They were both just terrible, right? And so anyway, The Flash. I have been waiting for a Flash movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
For
ever
literal years. I have rejoined the DCU. I have left the DCU, rejoined it again, and gave backup on the DCU. Okay, comics lore, right?
Yeah.
Ever since this was first announced.
Yeah.
Right? I got super into Arrow and the series of The Flash. The entire series of The Flash.
Yeah.
Happened.
Yeah.
And then, it went away. Now, when they started kicking off the DCEU, they had a day where they announced, like, oh, we're going to do fucking Wonder Woman and Aquaman and Justice League parts 1 and 2, right? On that day, I think it was like the second day or third day of production on the Flash series, and they announced they were doing a Flash movie, like legit this time. And like they were like all like sad because they were doing like great stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like the first season or maybe the second season, but
yeah.
Like, somebody I follow on Twitter was there on the day, like, to interview the cast and stuff, just about the show.
Yeah.
And, like, it was like there was a rain cloud on top of them.
Aww.
Yeah, because they're like, we're trying our best, We're on the CW. there's not a whole lot we can do,
Not much we can do here, guys.
And so, years and years and years, directors
have come and gone.
Maggie,
I can't imagine the list of directors.
There is a master list. I'm not going to pull it up, but I can tell you a few names that it's on it, okay?
Okay.
At one point, Chris Lord and Phil Miller.
Yeah.
Right? Lord and Miller. They were set to direct it.
Yeah.
Then they left to do Solo.
Yes.
Which they left.
Yeah, which they left.
Yeah. And I guess they got Spider-Verse after that.
Yeah, I think so.
And so then at one point Robert Zemeckis was going to direct The Flash.
Oh God.
Yeah, which I mean, he would have
been so scary.
He originated the whole split screen, one actor playing multiple parts thing in Back to the Future 2.
Well, yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Who else was there attached? There's a few other people I can't remember, but some bigger names. And then it just those two were like the big that really like stuck out in my brain. And then now of course we ended up with Andy Muschietti.
Yeah.
Did a bang up job.
Yeah, he honestly did fantastic
for a movie that never should have come out ever. Like, Like, not because it's bad, but just
No.
like that was never going to come out. He made it a good movie.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get into that. But before we talk more about it, The Flash over the weekend earned $55.7 million domestic.
I was supposed to say
That's not good. Yeah. Just to put it in context, the previous DCEU movies, Shazam 2 came out earlier this year, made $30 million opening weekend. These are all domestic numbers, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Black Adam made $67 million. Had a huge drop off the next week.
Yeah.
Because of the Superman stuff. But yeah, I was able to get $67 million. Birds of Prey made $33 million. Came out in January.
Gosh, but that was such a good movie.
And it also came out in January. This is a summer blockbuster.
I know.
You know. Shazam 1, came out in April, made $53 million. All right. This made $55 million. All right. And then everything else made over $60 million. Every other movie.
Wow.
Well, I'm not counting the Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman 84 because
No.
those were day and date.
Yeah.
And so that kind of skewed the numbers,
Yeah.
obviously. But yeah, so not a great opening weekend. And I don't know if that's like just bad word of mouth or if that's just people are confused because they think it's like tied to the Flash TV series or if like they're just unsure of what this is.
Going on.
Yeah. Because it is confusing.
It is. I agree.
Like just understanding what DC is doing right now is just very confusing.
Yes.
So I mean, I can see like casual audiences being completely just unsure of what this even is.
Yeah.
You know.
And also, I mean, look at all the other things that are already out and what they're going to be up against here in the future, like Mission Impossible,
Yeah.
Indiana Jones,
I mean, we'll definitely see this.
Barbie movie.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, sorry.
I mean, we'll definitely see next weekend, like just if it bounces back at all. Or I mean, obviously the international numbers could help. You know, if this movie plays well in like China or something. If it even comes out there, I don't even know. Then we asked our YouTube audience to give us a out of 5 stars. What would everybody rank it? So as of recording this, as of going live, we had well, I don't have the total number of votes, but I think it was over 100. 23% gave it a 5 out of 5. 44% gave it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
17% gave it a 3 out of 5. 4% gave a 2 out of 5. And 12% gave a 1 out of 5.
Are you there in the movie theater watching that?
People want to hate this movie. Okay.
I know they do. That's why I'm like, are you lying?
Like, apparently this movie is way more divisive than I think it should be.
Oh, yeah. Well.
And I mean, obviously, there's the big thing, right? There's the big rain cloud on this whole thing. And we'll go ahead. That's the last of my stats until we get into spoilers. We'll go ahead and just kind of call this out. Obviously, there is a lot of history with the main star, Ezra Miller. They have had some horrible news stories come up in the past. And honestly, there's been a lot of like confusion. Yes. You know, there's been some that have been real, some of that have not been real, but they have even said, yes, like a lot of this stuff, like there was these things, I am sorry for these things, right?
Yes.
And a big part of that, like obviously this isn't any kind of like brushing it off as if they didn't do anything wrong by any means. No. But allegedly, right, they were having a break from reality. Like they had a mental breakdown, extreme mental distress is what they called it, what the doctors called it. It doesn't excuse anything.
No, it doesn't.
But at the same time, if someone's going through a mental crisis, like they're gonna do messed up stuff.
Yeah.
Again, doesn't excuse it.
No.
But if they want to be better, if they want to get help, and they go and get that help, right?
Yes.
Whether the studio forces them to or what, that's a whole other conversation. Then I mean, I want to, again, we've said this in the past, but I want to be the type of person that if someone's legitimately seeking forgiveness, that we don't, not allow that.
Yeah.
Just because. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if there's a decent reason. Now, don't get me wrong. could be all shit. Like,
Yeah.
it could just be playing it up so that the Flash maybe could make more money and, like, get the bad press off of them. That could, 100%, that could be it. And, you know, maybe being, what's it called? Naive. Maybe being naive by even giving them a chance.
Yeah.
But, you know, if they are saying,
I'm getting help.
I'm getting help. I need help. I'm getting it. I'm sorry for causing all the things that I've caused. I'm getting help. Then
okay.
that's where we are, right?
Yeah.
It's not, again, doesn't excuse it,
No, it doesn't.
but it's a different story than just I'm a huge piece of shit and I don't care. Like, that's a different story, you know? Anything you wanted to add to
No,
that?
I agree with everything you just said.
So, we're throwing that out there.
And we're not going to speak about it again.
Yeah, we'll just kind of leave it at that. Obviously, you know, stuff comes out in the future. Of course, we might, you know, that could recolor this movie in the future, obviously.
Of course, yeah. But as of right now, we've already spoke about it, and that's it. I'm saying it right now.
We're probably naive optimists, but I'd rather be that than to be cynical and deny someone forgiveness if they legitimately are wanting it.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Not that we have the power to forgive them over, you know, the people that they actually wronged, obviously. That's
and I even told somebody today that you know, he is getting help.
They are getting help.
They are getting help. Yeah. Not bad. And they had a very rough mental time.
I mean, it was
crisis.
during the pandemic. Like, let's not forget that.
Yeah, which a lot of mental illnesses went skyrocketing through the roof.
And, you know, when you're a celebrity, none of this excuses anything. No. But, like, you're surrounded by people that are not looking out for your best interest. They're looking out for their best interest. And so just being a yes person and, you know, what's it called when you allow someone to be the worst part of themselves? I can't think of what it's called. Like, you know, if someone's an alcoholic and you're, like, giving them alcohol.
Oh, you're the...
Enabler,
yes.
You know? And so, I mean, you don't really have, like, decent people around you. And, like, sure, it's still, you need to be the one making that happen, right? Like, you can't just put your blame on everyone else. But, again, and that's why it's such a deep, complicated issue.
Yes.
And so that's why we're just kind of going to leave that there and let all of that sort itself out.
Yeah.
So back to the movie. We walked into the theater.
Yeah.
And the lights went down.
Yeah.
And I was shocked.
Yeah.
How freaking good this movie is. Okay.
I mean, I think my jaw was on the floor. I don't know how many times.
Dude, I'm sorry. This movie's fantastic. All right. And I don't understand everybody saying that this movie's mid or like that this movie's like a terrible, boring movie. It's like, how exactly is it boring? Okay.
Well,
like
first things first.
You cannot like it, but to say it's boring.
Here's my question. If you're saying it's boring, are you an actual DC fan? Like, that to me...
I don't even think that's the case. Like, it's not even...
Or did they even pay any attention to it? Better yet, did they even watch that movie? Did they go into Fast X and think, you know, oh, this is the Flash? No.
Like, I'm going to say this, and this is probably going to be, like, the thing where, like, you have a finger pointing at one person, there's, like, 4 others pointing at yourself, right? Mm-hmm. But, I mean, we got a lot of people wanting to be, like, critics out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, don't get me wrong... We are not critics.
No, we're not.
We're doing a podcast.
Movies.
We're doing a podcast. We're doing a video, and we call it a review, right? And that's just because if we said it's just to talk about the Flash, like nobody would click on it.
A discussion.
Yeah, you know. But you know, we don't look at it from a critic's point of view of like you know the quality of the storytelling.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff.
don't break down the camera work or the plot.
It's legitimately, did we enjoy this movie?
Yeah,
that's pretty much. Did this movie have a theme that was worth exploring? Did this movie have any kind of resonation? No. Did this movie resonate with us?
Yes.
You know. Was the acting terrible because the actors are terrible? Like that's a part of it. But again, we're not looking at it from like a, you know, oh well, you know, it's a 9.75 because they flawed on this movement.
No.
You know, like no, it's just basic. Did we enjoy it?
Yeah.
And absolutely we enjoyed it. I gotta say, I have my whole ranking thing, of like, if it's a 3 out of 5 means I liked it, a 4 out of 5 means I loved it, 5 out of 5 means that I really loved it and it made me cry. Made me cry, right? I give this movie a 5 out of 5. It was good. It was damn good. It was really freaking good.
I was like so happy watching this. Like Matt told me after the movie, he's like, "You actually look like yourself." Your old self. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I hadn't looked like my old self in a while.
I just meant like
I'm joking.
Just
I know
like
what
this
you meant.
big smile on your face.
Yeah. And like I just
like he was a kid again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like and seeing and this is no spoilers, but seeing Michael Keaton
Yeah.
was everything to me.
Yeah. I mean, you love Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah. I love 89 Batman. Like stupid love. Like I can't believe like the things I've seen on Instagram, like people reposting stuff that they have from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Batman and also Batman Returns merchandise.
Oh, God.
And they're like, yeah, Keaton's back, baby. Like they're very amped about this movie because he's in it.
Yeah.
And then
which I'm surprised.
I found her name today and I can't remember.
Her name is Sasha. Sasha Calle?
Yeah.
Calle.
I love her.
She's fantastic, honestly.
I love
Sasha's
her.
Fantastic. She murdered this role.
Yes, she did.
She killed it, man.
I know a lot of like people like I don't know. Was it well received, Supergirl?
Yeah,
the old one?
I mean, which one? The movie?
The movie.
Oh no, everybody hates that. Like they blame that for killing the franchise.
Aw.
Yeah. Well, kind of. They blame. A lot of people blame 3, but 3 still made money.
Yeah.
But that's the one that had Richard Pryor in it. And then they made this one, or they made Supergirl. And then they made the 4th one, which did kill Superman movies for a long time.
She's my Supergirl.
Yeah.
She's mine. I love her.
Like I like Melissa Benoist.
Yes, she was a really good Kara. Yeah.
But I feel like the writing was a bit lacking on that show. It was fun.
Yeah.
And like I stuck with it for a while.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it was a CBS show and you could feel it.
CW show.
That started off on CBS.
I don't
the season
remember
1 was on CBS. And then they moved it to CW.
Wow.
Because CBS dropped it.
I had no clue.
Yeah. That's why they were going for like an Ally McBeal angle with it. Like Callista Flockhart was on there. Yeah. Yeah, that is
right. She was on it.
Yeah.
I wonder if Harrison Ford ever followed her.
Also, speaking of Supergirl, the original movie Supergirl was in Supergirl, the show. She showed up.
I knew that.
And Dean Cain. Womp, womp, womp.
Good for him.
But no, I mean, obviously Sasha is a much better.
Oh, yes.
I mean, not even like, I don't want to compare her to Melissa Benoist. They're two different versions of the character.
Those are two different Karas altogether.
This Kara to me feels a lot more like the New 52 Kara, where she's very Kryptonian and like not very like into humans and stuff, and like very new to the world, right? Yeah. Whereas Melissa Benoist's Supergirl,
she had been there
much more your Silver Age Supergirl.
Yeah,
raised by the Kents and stuff. Yeah. Like, it's Clark's cousin, and then she's got
Clark's
Bippo, the super horse, and so I mean, this is it's just a totally different version, which I enjoy.
Yes,
and she looks great. Like she looks like a badass.
I love her suit.
Yes, someone was saying it's like the perfect combination of like masculinity and femininity. I don't even know if I said that.
No, I agree. If
like
I was a kid watching this, I would have wanted to be her, all the time.
Because she looks jacked, but you don't lose her feminism of herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you could probably speak to that a lot better. You get what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying. Because
like, they didn't just put her in a dude's costume.
No, they didn't.
Like, it's definitely Supergirl's costume.
Yeah, it is.
But it's not a skirt.
No.
And high heels. You know what I mean?
High heel boots.
Yeah.
Like, thank
God. Go-go boots. Yeah. No, she's great in this. Honestly, this movie's funny. One of the funnier... Honestly, maybe one of the best DCEU movies, period.
Yeah.
We'll have that conversation here in a minute. But it's funny. The action is fantastic. seeing the Speed Force, or not even just the Speed Force, but seeing speed being used in this way. Like, I mean, I know we've had the Flash TV series, and this does teeter in a similar direction as the show does, where they go in slow mo to show how fast they're going, right? But just the almost bullet time. One of the opening action beats. This isn't really a spoiler, but like one of the first beats, he's saving a bunch of babies, and like that, I have not seen that.
No.
And that's saying after the God, half 100 movies, like probably 100 superhero movies that we've had at this point, modern, right?
Yeah.
I've not seen that.
Yeah.
And like that was great. And it was funny, and like it had the character of Barry within the action beats, and it looked good. But it was also very nerve-wracking.
Oh my God!
I can't tell you the amount of
puke the whole entire time.
I mean, we're parents. I mean, that could be a huge part of it.
Well, it is, but also,
still, I think that the one thing you see him do, like that you see Barry do, right, with one of the babies, like you don't do that, you know. And I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And like I think everyone could agree. Like, no, like everybody had that feeling. And I know that's what Andy Muschietti was going for.
Yeah.
Like he wanted people to feel uneasy.
Yeah. He wanted
the director of It.
Yes.
Is the same. He directed both parts of the newest It.
And also, like I told you the other day, it speaks volumes that Stephen King has even said that this is a good movie. I can't remember his words exactly. And
Tom Cruise.
And Tom Cruise, which got to see it before, I guess, anybody had it delivered to his house. Somebody had to stay there
until he finished it.
So there wouldn't be like, you know, one of those crazy coincidences of it being passed around, made copies.
Like Wolverine.
Yeah, it was Wolverine.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, because it happened. Yes, because it's while they were at Fox. That's what happened there. That's how it got leaked out.
Yeah.
But
and I mean James Gunn himself has said how like he's done nothing but sing the praises of this, and he's don't get me wrong, he's over DC Studios, and he has a reason to talk good about the movies that's coming out. I get that. But
aside from that, did he talk about Shazam 2 in the same vein?
No. Has he talked about Aquaman 2 in the same vein? No. He has kind of talked about Blue Beetle.
Yes,
but not in the same way that he's talking about the Flash.
No. He's looking forward for Blue Beetle to be out.
Which apparently Blue Beetle is going to be in the DCU, but that's another topic for another day. So I gotta say the villain in this movie is one of probably. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to just throw out random phrases of like, oh, it's the best villain of any movie.
It's a really good villain.
There's so much to the villain that matters. And that works better than just any of these generic villains that we typically get.
Yeah.
We are introduced to the villain in this movie, and we deal with the villain in this movie. It doesn't set up 5 more years of movies. Like this whole movie is just
cliffhangers. Thank God.
In as much as it pays tribute, I guess, to the prior movies in the DCEU, I feel like The Flash is still super self-contained. Like, I think really anybody could go watch this movie, not even having seen any of the others. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Are you going to get all the references? No, you're definitely not. But I think anybody that understands that there's a Justice League, right? I mean, everybody knows what the Avengers is at this point. So it's just DC's Avengers, right? And I hate saying it that way because no, Justice League was better than the Avengers back in the day. All right, in the comics. I'm talking about comics. I'm not talking about this. Like, I didn't even know what the fucking Avenger was. All right, but god damn it, I knew who the Justice League was.
Yeah,
all right, they fought giant starfishes. All right,
yeah.
Even though plural of fish is fish. All right, listen. So they may not get that, but as long as you know Barry's a part of a team, that team includes Batman, and Superman, and Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, right?
Usually.
But like, as long as you get that, this movie does a good enough job of taking you from that into the Flash's story, and then everything that happens while you're in the Flash's story is new to everyone.
Yeah.
And in the way it's handled, Like, even if you don't get, by the end of the movie, if you don't understand any of the things that they're showing or talking about, again, spoiler free, I think that the payoff is still able to be understood by someone who has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I
especially the very last payoff.
Yeah.
You know, like that's an obvious enough thing that even if you don't know the history behind it, it's still like, oh my, why? You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We kind of talked about this a lot, especially on the ride back, but after so many movies over the past few weeks of just cliffhangers, you know, we had Fast X.
This is just so nice.
We had Across the Spider-Verse, which is great. I love Across the Spider-Verse.
We're not pooping on it.
But it is a cliffhanger.
It is a cliffhanger.
Transformers: Rise of the Beasts was it set up
another
a whole new
thing.
universe, basically, right? And so getting this movie and just being able to watch it, take it in, enjoy it, and it ends, and we just move on.
So nice.
So great. It was nice to just have that. And I'm one all about building universes. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I love that shit. I love all the Easter eggs and stuff. But I'm fatigued by that.
Seen.
Yes. And it's become too generic.
Yes.
Like, I love Marvel. I love the MCU. But every single one of their movies recently has just been, you know, I mean, The Eternals was very well made, right?
Yes, it was.
But again, it's just, here's a bunch of people with superpowers.
Yeah.
Here's them overcoming the thing to do their superpowers.
We'll never see them again.
No, we'll see them again. But I mean, not in Eternals 2 or anything.
No.
And it's just like, it doesn't do anything. We're just setting up 5 more stories. Black Panther, that was my biggest complaint about Wakanda Forever, is it felt like, oh, here's all these storylines that'll be explored in Disney Plus, you know?
Yeah.
Like, here's your 5 new shows that are going to be coming out.
In which I think that got pushed.
Probably. Yeah.
I'm pretty certain it has. Ironheart has.
Yeah. Ironheart and I think they're doing one, that weird Power Ranger looking suit that they had. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But anyway, we're not going to get into all that. So anyway, it was just nice finally getting a movie amongst all of these other superhero movies, especially one in a universe that's so convoluted.
Yes.
To just be able to just watch it and enjoy it, and it's done. And it was really refreshing. And like, as a DC fan, I mean, I'm wearing a freaking Green Lantern t-shirt. As a DC fan, I really enjoyed this movie, and like
I did too.
Like, I feel like that's the 2 levels, right? Like, there's the general audiences. Was it a decent movie to watch and understand and stuff? Absolutely. I think it was great. I think anybody could watch this movie and have a good time. Just like anybody could watch Guardians and have a good time.
Yeah.
But as a DC fan, as somebody that loves this shit, right? I mean, we do a Smallville podcast, for God's sakes. It was incredible. Like, the things in this, the fan service in this, was so good. Oh, I died.
My imaginary friend as a child was Batman. And you know what? I called him Michael. Because of Michael Keaton. That's why. I have always loved DC. My brother showed me all of his comic books, like Death of Superman. He had the Batman comic where Bane broke his back. So now the broken back for you, brother. And like, I always love Batman. I love Batman the animated series,
Batman Beyond, Batman.
I didn't get
the
to watch
cartoon,
Batman.
the Batman.
I know what you meant, but like, I didn't get to watch those.
Do you think the Joker will have dreadlocks in the Batman movie series?
Oh, please do it.
No, God, that was awful. I hated that cartoon.
I didn't like that either. But I've always been a DC fan first.
Yeah.
Like, I love Spider-Man. He was probably right up there with Batman. Great. I love me some Spider-Man.
I've always heard Spider-Man. No, wait, never mind. I have it backwards. Never mind. I was gonna say, I've always heard that Spider-Man was a DC superhero in the Marvel universe, but no, it's actually Batman. Batman is a Marvel hero stuck in the DC universe because, like, his story and his rogues and stuff fits in the Marvel thing much more than it does in DC.
Wow.
And that's actually a very astute point. But anyway.
Yeah, anyways. And yes, I loved all the stupid Schumacher Batman movies growing up.
Hey. They weren't stupid, okay?
I know.
I would watch Batman and Robin over Batman Returns any day, and there I fucking said it, okay?
I want the Schumacher cut. Batman
Dude,
and
with the
Robin.
giant fucking bat. Please, God, please.
My
I just want
brother
to see
texted
that.
us the other day. He said Kevin Smith said that he's got the Schumacher cut of Batman and Robin. I was like,
Dude,
oh, please
I'd
release it.
I'd pay to go to Jersey and watch it at the Smod Castle. I would absolutely do that. Okay, best $4,000 I've ever spent.
That was one of those movies that mom recorded off of I think pay-per-view.
That's great.
And I watched it over and over and over.
It's so good, man.
I
mean, it's not, but it was at the time.
I didn't grow up with a lot of Marvel knowledge.
Well, yeah, I mean, nobody did.
Nobody did.
There wasn't a lot of Marvel knowledge to be had. I mean, there's the X-Men cartoon and the Spider-Man
Yeah.
cartoon, and that was it.
And I did watch the X-Men cartoon, but like,
I wasn't a big fan.
I knew more about DC. Like, I watched the old but Justice League cartoon.
The Super Friends?
Yes. I watched it.
At the Legion of Doom. That was great. I did watch that too.
I watched it.
Of course, they showed up in Scooby-Doo. I think that's a big part of it.
Yes. Well, also, I think Hanna-Barbera helped draw the Super Friends, I believe.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm pretty certain. Anyways, all in all said, I've always had a big love for it. I love Batgirl.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I'm still mad to this day. Don't get me started.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in spoilers.
But for me,
the canceled Batgirl movie is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
don't get me started.
We have stuff to say about it in spoilers, but it's not a spoiler. There's nothing to do with Batgirl and the Flash.
No.
Just want to throw that out there. I didn't want people to get the wrong impression.
No. Yeah.
Batgirl's literally, there's no
nothing.
reference or anything. It's
Nothing.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. Okay, sorry.
It's okay. But I felt like a kid again.
Yeah.
Watching this.
Yeah.
And whenever you get into the Keaton of it all, and like I started noticing things, I could recognize people's voices. And I don't know. I think.
Well, I mean, you looked over at me and you was like, "It's the mansion. It's the suit.
It's the suits. It's the suits of armor from the Burton movies."
Like, you were doing the thing that I usually do to you, but you were doing it to me. Maggie, that's Rhinox.
Holy bleep, Maggie, it's Cheetor.
It's Cheetor, Maggie. Oh my god. But no, it was great. Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah, it was.
And again, we'll get more into spoilers, but I just want to say I think that the entire story completely works. Yes. People have said it's confusing. I don't think it's confusing.
Not know how you can be confused by this.
I think the only way it's confusing is if you, and I'm not saying you gotta turn your brain off, but I think if you overthink it, it's kind of like,
you can't overthink
It's kind of like Back to the Future. You just kind of have to accept the rules that they're giving you.
That's right.
And just go with it. Because any movie with like time travel and alternate realities and stuff, none of it makes sense if you really drive down.
Interstellar.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you ever think Interstellar and it falls apart.
Yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he did a fantastic job.
Yes.
But if you try to think too much about it, you start getting into all these theoretical loops and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it unravels for you.
Our brains just can't comprehend quantum mechanics like that,
And you could ruin the whole experience for yourself.
Yeah. And I think that could be a reason why people are saying it sucks, because they weren't willing to just accept the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. But I thought it makes sense.
Rules.
And I mean, hey, but I'm more than happy to hear you out. If you did not like The Flash, please let us know in the comments. I would love to hear legitimate reasons why you did not enjoy the movie. And it's fine. Like, you can totally not like this movie. That's totally fine. You're not wrong. It is your opinion. I'm just curious, like, what specifically was it that just didn't work for you?
Yeah.
I just want to know that, because I want to be able to understand that. Because right now, all I'm seeing is the good.
Yeah.
And so I'd really like to get my head around what other people are seeing. And honestly, all the stuff I've seen is very superficial. Like, the effects weren't great, or just everything's so.
Oh crap!
So
Black Panther didn't look fantastic in the last act.
And like, I would argue that the effects weren't bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some things, and we'll talk about it in spoilers, but I mean, if you really think about what you're seeing, like, I don't really know if you'd want it to be much better than that, because it would be off-putting.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I catch what you're saying. No,
So-
it'd be uncanny valley.
Exactly.
And you don't want that.
No.
You don't want to
So
scare
you
people's
almost wanna-
Zemeckis.
You almost want to go stylized.
Yes.
You know, and I think that...
And I understood that.
Yeah. And given the context of what we're seeing in the movie, I think that the
Yes.
stylized version of what we're seeing makes perfect sense. Like,
Yes.
it works.
Yes.
We need to get into spoilers.
Yes, we do.
So, again, we'll be going into spoilers. This is your last chance to not be spoiled on
Dip
The Flash.
out now.
But then come back and listen to us rank The Flash amongst the DCEU movies as well as the summer 2023 movies. Will this be our new number one? Will we rank this above Across the Spider-Verse? Come back and find out. But now, spoilers. Can't believe Barry was dead the whole time.
He's dead the whole time. His ghost was just stuck in the Speed Force.
I gotta say, okay.
I'm moving this book.
That's fine. Evil Flash, Dark Flash, whatever you want to call him.
Yes.
I love that. I loved
Metal
it.
Flash.
Dude.
That's what I wanted to call
He
him.
kind of looked like Doomsday. Like with all the sparks and shit.
Oh, I know.
And I love the idea that like he just kept getting fucked so hard like by all these like swords and shit. And like that's what all of that crap was.
Yeah, because he just
kept getting
couldn't
hit.
accept it.
And I mean the years that he spent trying to do this. Because I mean he was old. He had aged like hundreds of, I mean not hundreds, but decades.
Yeah.
You know? I love that. And I think that the idea of the villain of this story is Barry. And like it's all about like the movie is about accepting the things that you can't change.
Yes.
Right. And that if you stick in the things, if you stay stuck in the past and the things that you wish you could change and you don't accept it, then you literally become the worst version of yourself. And like Barry couldn't be the good person he is unless he had experienced what he had experienced. And it's not so much to say like you have to go through shit. It's not that. It's saying that through the going through shit, you can learn and grow and be a better version of yourself. You know? Like everything can suck.
Yeah.
But if you take it the right way, if you take it and try and learn and grow and mature and become a better, person, then it can not necessarily worth it, but it can make it matter.
Yeah.
And not just be something that's just stuck in your side.
Yes.
Right. And like, we come from church backgrounds and stuff. And so I'm not trying to get like super religious in this, but like, I feel like that's a better message than the Bible.
Oh boy, buddies.
I'm joking. As I was saying it, I was
you take your experiences and you learn from them.
Exactly.
And also you can learn from other people's experiences too.
Yeah.
But as Barry was finding out, wherever there's 3 of them in that chrono ball.
The chrono ball.
And
what a name. The chrono ball. I love it.
Young Barry realized that was him.
Yeah.
And the Barry that we know realized, like before old Barry showed up, realized that young Barry hadn't went through what he went through.
Yeah.
Like he didn't learn that lesson yet.
Yeah. I mean, we've spent the entire movie him learning that.
Yeah.
Like him realizing, like our Barry knew by the second time we can't change this.
Yeah.
And Barry, I mean, he spent decades because he never had to experience that. Like he never had to go through the pain of loss and moving on.
And like Batman the second time around, and when our Barry goes and tries to save him, I mean, it goes a little bit better, but still, it happened that this 2 pieces of spaghetti, the times that intersect each other, it had to happen.
Yeah,
it had to happen.
Yeah.
And
this is a fixed point in time.
It's a fixed point in time.
And granted, I guess they didn't spend a whole lot of time really explaining what that means.
But it had to happen.
And I feel like you get that. And maybe I don't know, maybe I mean I understood it, but I've experienced that in other media, comic books and shows and stuff.
Well, and that's another thing too.
Some things just can't be changed.
Yeah. And that's the one thing like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I mean, God, there's countless movies about going back in time, but like there's always a fixed point in time
not always.
Not always, but it's got to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I think that's one of the things that people don't like to accept the idea that we're not in control of ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and I mean in general. Like, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about like in general, right? Like the free will, choice. Those are things that just as individual people, we have to have those, right? The Matrix got that correct.
Yeah, that is true.
So I think when this movie posits the idea that there are some things that you don't have choice over, that there is something called fate that is in play in some way, I think that's hard for some people to accept.
Yeah.
And not saying that that's true,
no.
but even just in a entertainment world, it's hard to put your mind in a space of not having the freedom
control.
Of choice.
Yeah.
And I think that could be playing with why people were not digging this movie.
Yeah.
Like Barry gave up too much or, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. This movie is like trying to say a lot and also not trying to say anything. like it's saying a lot about you accepting the things that have sucked and being able to learn and grow and be a better person, right? But I don't think there's anything that is trying to tell you about you don't have free will.
Yeah.
I don't think that's any part of it. That's just the rules of this universe, of the Flash or DCEU or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's one of the things that makes this movie so good.
Yes.
Like it actually has a thought to it. Like it's actually kind of teaching something. And like, I love that shit. Mm-hmm. Like that's what sci-fi is supposed to do. Yeah. It's supposed to show, a reflection of humanity in a way that we can't normally see in a real movie, or in real life. Yeah. It's supposed to be like, hey, if you stay stuck in the past, you literally become your worst enemy.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that's true.
And like, that's what happened. And it's so easy and simple and straightforward, but they just do it in such a magnificently entertaining way. Yes. I love this movie. I'm just really love this movie.
And then reality just tore through and all these other worlds came through.
Dude, oh my God.
Oh my God. Like the first one, of course, we got George Reeves
which was unexpected.
I heard him talking and I was like, holy crap, are they doing this? And then inside that chrono ball was the first Flash.
The Jay Garrett.
Yeah.
Which everybody is very confused on who that is. Okay, because
I only know because of you.
Well, no, I mean like the actor, because so like Jay Garrett comes running by, right? And it looks just like the dude from the Flash TV series that played Jay Garrett. And even New Rockstars was saying that is that actor. Today, that actor was asked about it, and he said, I don't think it's me, because I'm sleep deprived. We have a new baby and stuff, but like, I think I would remember shooting a big budget Hollywood movie.
God.
And so like, I don't know. And, I mean, I could see it being like footage that they just reused from the Flash TV series. So maybe he wouldn't have been aware, because he wouldn't have had to come in and shoot it. But I mean, he would have been paid for it, and I feel like he would have known.
He had to.
But it could have also just been nobody. I mean, it could have just been an AI.
I swear to
generated person.
Swear to you, that looks like him.
It looks exactly like him.
It looks like him.
Which, I mean, granted, you put anybody in that outfit and the hat and stuff. I mean, it's gonna look similar.
Okay, and then after George Reeves' Chrono Ball, it was Christopher Reeve.
I believe so. I think it was Christopher Reeve. If not,
I can't think of her name that plays.
Not Kelly Slater.
Kelly Slater's a surfer.
Yeah.
World's best surfer.
I don't have it. I used to know her name.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
It shows we get to see Christopher Reeve.
Helen Slater.
Yeah, you was right about Slater.
Yeah. It came.
And we got to see them together, which never happened.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, all of this is very much CGI.
Yes.
And that's what we was talking about before. Spoilers. If they had tried any harder, I do believe it would have been creepy.
Yeah. And I mean, not Helen Slater, but like everybody else they show is dead.
Yes.
And like,
except for Nicolas Cage.
Well, yeah, I guess Nicolas Cage. Yeah, he's not dead.
He's still.
And
Helen Slater, is it? She's
no, that's what I said. Like, except for her. So her and Nicolas Cage aren't dead, but like, and I guess that one Flash guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, she obviously looks like she did in the 80s.
80s, yeah.
And like, which one, I gotta say, I love that they did that. They didn't have to do that.
I didn't think that would make me feel so like I was happy to see Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yes.
But like then see her fly down. I'm like, oh,
it was great. Like it felt like she finally got approval.
Yeah.
You know, because like they never actually connected in the movies. Like Jimmy Olsen is in Supergirl, but they never mentioned Superman or anything.
Yeah.
And like Christopher Reeve was originally supposed to have a cameo in it, but then he backed out because he said he didn't want to like confuse people.
Aww.
Because it just wouldn't make sense. Like, why are there two super people? Don't get me wrong. I think he had a wrong opinion on it, but it was the 80s, man. People were
well,
weird.
I think also too, I mean, at that point, like you said, everybody said, oh, that franchise is dead.
Yeah, I mean, Supergirl, it wasn't good.
And then
he probably made the right choice. He probably read the script and was like, I'm not getting anywhere near that.
And then like after you see that Chrono Ball, you see this guy, the Superman.
No, wait, didn't Adam West show up before that?
Yeah, Adam West. Yeah,
Adam West Batman somewhere.
And Robin.
Yeah.
Just for a brief second, you could hear him. But then you see this super person just get slammed up against this like rock fixture, and you see all these bugs, and I was like, here I am sitting there, and I was like, who is that? Who could this be? Who else am I missing?
And I'm dying over there. The moment it happened, I was like, I can't fucking believe I'm seeing what I'm seeing right now.
Well, he knew immediately. Because you've heard the story.
I've heard it.
I've only heard it like, well, from you, but like through that documentary.
Yeah.
See the big ass spider. And I was like, holy crap, it's Nicolas Cage Superman. And he actually got to... Like, so good. Be in the suit, like they screened it and everything.
Yes, dude, so good, man.
And also, he met Kojima this past week. Yes, and I'm just like, what a week Nicolas Cage is having.
Cage, the Renaissance, the Cage-assance. You know, get in the cage with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, and I loved all that. And
well, now wait, hang on. I gotta talk about Nicolas Cage. Okay, like before we move on.
You talk about.
You're fine. I mean, I don't want to get you off your point, but I mean that was incredible.
I'm about to get something else to drink.
Okay, I'll put on me. That was incredible. Honestly, this is one of those moments where I feel like if you have no idea what the fuck is going on, that this is still going to be, at the very least, you can understand this is Nicolas Cage. If you don't know who Nicolas Cage is, you can understand this is a Superman, and it's just different from what you've ever seen, and that it works on that very basic level. But if you know what this is, it's the best thing that should never have existed ever, and it does now. Like, it is officially real, and nothing can change that. Nothing can ever take that away from us. Nicolas Cage's Superman is finally an actual real thing, you know. And
also, may I add, it is Tim Burton's Superman.
Yes. Yes.
That's what's the kicker for me. I loved that.
Honestly, the first time I ever heard about this was An Evening with Kevin Smith. It was a DVD I rented from Blockbuster back in like I think 2002. Okay, which I ended up buying afterwards because I loved it so much. And then I got like a Evening Harder and then a 3 Evening. I just kept getting them. And then he started podcasting. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And so he has like this big 20-minute segment where it's right after Mallrats came out, and it was before he was going to do Chasing Amy. It may have even been before Mallrats came out. I don't know. But either way, Warner Brothers had just a general meeting with him.
Yeah.
And that's just like, hey, you know, you're an up-and-coming writer. We'd like to talk to you about, you know, any future projects. So he goes, and they're like, well, you know, here's a few things. One of them was Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. I forget what the other one was. And then the other one was Superman 5.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you're going to do Superman? I'll take Superman. They're like, well, you can't take it. Like, you can pitch for it. But you can't,
you can't own it.
Yeah. And so he tells this whole story about going to John Peters' house. He's the executive producer over Superman movies because he owned the rights to it. It's a whole weird thing.
Oh my God.
And then how the guy had 3 conditions. He didn't want to see him in the suit. He didn't want him flying. I think
he didn't want him flying.
Basically Smallville rules.
Yeah.
But the other rule was he also, in the third act, he had to fight a giant mechanical spider.
Yeah.
Like that was it had to be a giant mechanical spider.
And he got it in Wild Wild West.
Damn it, Maggie. I was getting there. And so obviously
I couldn't wait any longer.
Tim Burton gets attached to it, and that changes a bunch of stuff. And Tim Burton didn't want to use Kevin Smith's script. And then there was a whole thing about the Planet of the Apes movie that Tim Burton did, where it had the Abraham Lincoln, and Kevin Smith and Chasing Dogma, which is basically Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, the road trip part, when they find the ape Suzanne, and they cut away to it. In the comic book, there is Abraham Lincoln, and then his Planet of the Apes came out like 3 years later, and so they acted like they were going to sue Tim Burton because he stole.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was a whole other thing. Yeah. So anyway, Tim Burton gets all of it. There's a whole documentary called "The Death of Superman Lives: What Happens." It's fantastic.
It's very good.
I hate that the guy that made that is not alive to see that this actually happened. I was part of the Kickstarter for it.
Yeah.
And they got so much that they were actually able to recreate some of the scenes, like reshoot them and stuff, like legit shoot them. Obviously not with Nicolas Cage, but. Yeah. Like they were actually able to make some of these scenes from the original script, and like he sat down with Tim Burton. It's a great movie.
It's really good.
But to see this, like to have lived with this knowledge, right? And it's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah,
like just the whole thing about it being the mechanical spider. And then, that movie fell apart. And then a few years later, he's watching Wild Wild West. It's produced by John Peters. There's a giant mechanical snake.
I remember.
Or spider, rather.
That's like one of my memories of Wild Wild West. Like, no, like before I ever watched it.
Yeah.
My mom and I had went and watched something. I don't even know what it was. I can't even remember. And like how it was in the mall where the bathrooms were at.
Yeah.
There's a theater like right beside the bathroom, and they had the door wide open.
Oh my god.
And I just happened to look in there, and I was like, why does Wild Wild West have
a giant spider? Dude, that movie's
that's like burned
garbage.
To my mind.
We need to do
it's bad.
We should do a commentary track for Wild Wild West. That'd be fun. For our Patreon.
We could wild.
So anyway, to be living with that for all of these years, and then to not even have been spoiled on it. I had no clue that Nicolas Cage was going to be in it.
Oh, I knew nothing
at all
into this.
The only slight thing that I didn't even know, but like I saw it, and I didn't know the context, and I kind of just brushed it off, and so I didn't get it until we saw it happen, and I was like, oh, okay. Christopher Reeve was trending.
Oh.
And I was like, I saw that. But like I didn't pay any attention.
Whatever.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to know. Like it said The Flash, and then
don't care.
It said Christopher Reeve, and like I was like, no, here post, just didn't think about it, didn't want to think about it.
Yeah, my brother pretty much went into like social media blackout.
Oh, you have to.
Because he didn't get to watch it until Father's Day.
Yeah.
But I texted him Thursday, and I said, I'm just letting you know that The Flash is awesome, and I'm not going to tell you anything.
I'm telling you nothing.
And he starts
nothing.
He texted me. He's like, "Oh my god, I hear the Elfman music." And then like maybe an hour passes, and then I get, "What the hell, Nicolas Cage?"
It's so good.
Then WTF, the other thing.
I mean, you can go ahead and say it.
George Clooney. I called it.
She called it.
She called it.
She did it.
I heard his voice where he's on the phone. Barry.
Yeah.
I was like, I know that voice. That's Clooney. It's Clooney. I start hitting my head. It's Clooney.
I was like, it's Clooney. Not Clooney.
And then he gets out of the car and Barry
and it was George Clooney.
Is this?
It's so good. The best line reads. He's like, hey, Barry, I can't believe that they got Clooney back. I can't believe that.
I love that so much.
It's so good.
Yes.
Clooney, like, notoriously does not like his take on Batman. Like, he is not a fan.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He's apologized for that movie.
Aww.
Like, he's like, I'm sorry I ruined Batman for everybody.
Aww.
Which he's always tongue-in-cheek about it, Like, he knows it was just a move, It was,
yeah. Well, I mean, he was a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, he still is, but, like, back in, like, the late 90s and stuff.
That's what you
like,
did.
That's, you saw him everywhere.
You got a big movie that would turn you into a star. It had... Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. Had
Uma Thurman.
Yeah, so
Chris
I mean,
O'Donnell.
Alicia Silverstone. Like, you know, so it was a big thing. And I mean, Batman was a hot property back then.
Yeah.
I mean, it still is, obviously.
Still is, yeah.
So I mean, you know, he's coming out of VR. So I mean, it makes sense. I'm gonna do this, and then it'll help me be a movie star. You know, and I mean, I guess it worked.
It did work. I mean,
and so to get him back, it's just beyond my wildest imagination.
Him as an not seeing him in a bat suit, but him as an older Bruce Wayne,
A sexy Bruce Wayne.
a sexy. I mean,
Batfleck's sexy Batman too.
I like sexy old Batfleck too. But just seeing because he played the Playboy very well.
Yes.
George Clooney did,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh my god, this is so great.
It was great, honestly.
Him getting out this really expensive car. Oh my gosh.
And that was another thing I was saying. Like, general audiences, even if they don't even know that George Clooney was Batman at some point, you'll know that that's George Clooney and that he's another person other than Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Like, you'll understand that.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. But also, you was telling me that they had shot 3 different endings.
Yes, I have
George
I have
Clooney.
that on here.
Okay.
So they had 3 different endings
Yes.
for this movie. The one that we got in theaters was the third ending that they shot. And I believe they did this one because I don't know if they shot this one. I don't know what all the rules are, but I think main reason they went with this one was because of how the DCU is changing.
Yes.
And they've changed up the plans for a lot of stuff, including Batgirl, and that's where this is about to go into. So the first ending that they had was Keaton's Batman and Cal's, is that her last name?
Yeah.
Sasha.
Yeah.
And Sasha's Supergirl would be at the courthouse. So I guess when Bruce pulls up, both of them would have got out in the car. And they would have still been
that
there.
would have been so sweet.
Yeah, it would have been great. And then the
especially
second
after
ending,
that whole deal. My God, I think Barry would have broke down crying.
almost would have kind of negated that a little bit.
I know. Now thinking, as awesome as that sounds,
Yeah, it would have kind of diminished.
The payoff wouldn't have been good.
It would have kind of diminished young Barry's sacrifice a little bit. But I mean, again, it's not the same Supergirl.
No,
because it's a different timeline.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into all that.
Or see, that's where we're overthinking it.
Exactly.
So we got to stop.
Then the other ending was Sasha's Supergirl, Henry Cavill's Superman, Godot's Wonder Woman, and Keaton's Batman all were at the courthouse. Again, I don't think they all just get out of the car.
No,
but
they're all standing there.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're in their civilian clothes or I don't know. But
Bruce
either way,
would be out in Batman suit in broad daylight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
so
I mean, Batfleck was though at the beginning of the movie.
And so that
Beautiful suit, by the way.
that would have kind of reset the DCEU a little bit. Like, we got rid of Batfleck because we knew he wasn't doing any more Batman
No,
movies.
he's sworn off of it.
And then that would have set up the reason why Michael Keaton was in Batgirl.
Yeah.
And it was still what's his name as Gordon.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was waiting for. I was
sense.
like, are they going to do the same thing like they did in Spider-Man? That J.K. Simmons is going to be Commissioner Gordon
in every universe.
In every universe,
even though he's not in the
I
Batman.
know.
Yeah,
I know.
it's a different guy. But anyway, I get what you're saying.
I know.
No, and I mean, as great as the Clooney thing was, where my brain was at was there had been a report a few months ago that an old Batman was going to return, like someone who'd played Batman previously.
Yeah.
And that they were going to be the Batman going forward in the DCU with Batman Brave and the Bold, which is about Batman and his son Damian as Robin. And so the big rumor was that it was Christian Bale. And so they were going to introduce Christian Bale at the end of this, and he would have his son, and that's what Brave and the Bold would be, right? And Andy Muschietti, Andy Muschietti, the director of The Flash, was also being talked about being the director of Batman, which he now is officially. Yes. They've officially announced that. And so it really felt like the pieces were coming together, like it would make sense, right? And so when he gets the call, it's definitely not Ben Affleck. That's where my brain's at. Is it doesn't sound like Christian Bale, but that's just what I'm expecting, you know?
Yeah.
And so when it's George Clooney, I was just blown away.
I yelled out, yes!
Dude, it was so, it was almost like I got punched in the face, but in a good way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I just was not expecting, that was,
I don't think I ever yelled out so much during this movie as I have in any other.
I was expecting Christopher Reeve's Superman more than I would ever expect Christian Bale, or not Christian Bale, but George Clooney's Batman.
Yeah.
I never, in my wildest dreams, would I have thought we would get George Clooney back as anything related to Batman.
I know. I was kind of saying it as a joke back then.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be Clooney. Clooney's going to come back. You know, he's going to be the one that ushers in Damien and stuff. Yeah. You're like, no, they're not going to get Clooney back. There's no way.
Clooney ain't doing that shit. And I still don't think he is.
I don't think so either.
I really feel like this is a joke.
I think I bet he really liked just filming that little bit.
For sure.
Because, like you said, he's apologized.
I think it's, again, you can kind of tell Andy Muschietti is a little bit of being not art and imitating life, but more turning life into art, I guess. But where Barry, okay, stick with me here. It's kind of deep. Barry has to find acceptance.
Yes.
Andy Muschietti is trying to give acceptance to prior DC properties that were not appreciated in their time. Christopher Reeve, not so much.
No, everybody.
But Supergirl,
Nicolas Cage.
Getting to stand side by side with Christopher Reeve.
I know.
Like I feel like that's the thing, is like, he's like, no, fuck you, they are in the same universe, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, and you can eat shit. Like, no, Supergirl is just as important in the Christopher Reeve universe as Superman is. And like, she was never given her due at that time.
Yeah.
I feel like this is his way of being like, no, fuck you. She's great.
Yeah.
Even though the movie's probably not good. I've never watched it. We bought it. We're going to watch it.
I did find an
bought
old
it on
book
iTunes.
at an antique store about the whole entire movie, but I didn't get it.
Oh, really?
Because I remember sending you a picture. I was like, look what I found. And you're like, oh, God.
I do own it on iTunes. So
Yes.
we're gonna watch it during our Smallville rewatch.
Yeah.
Because we're watching all Chris Reeves in between seasons. Anyway. But then you've also got Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Giving it that acceptance.
Yeah.
Right. And then Clooney. Yeah. And so I really feel like it's almost a meta way of being like, you have to accept the past.
Yeah.
To be able to be the best version of yourself. And if we try and negate these poor choices or whatever, if we try to not own those, then we're denying the fun we can have within that, you know? And just like Barry, if he denies, you know, himself the ability, like, to live post mother dying, post father being in jail, right? Like that, he's been solely focused on those things that he didn't live, and even seeing himself like going on a date with Iris. Yeah, you know, he's like, you're going on a date with Iris, and the way that young Barry was able to talk to Supergirl and be very like confident, and our Barry is like fumbling over himself and stuff, even though he's lived the superhero life. Like, even though young Barry was stupid, he had at least that.
Because he's a teenager too.
Well,
teenagers are young and dumb.
But he had confidence. Because I mean, there was no reason, he believed in himself, and our Barry didn't, you know, and so he had to find that acceptance within himself. And so I think that's Andy Muschietti in a way was trying to make that with these other characters coming back. Like,
I agree.
Like George Clooney being there wasn't just for the joke, although the biggest piece of it was for the joke. But I feel like it was also still a meta commentary on acceptance of the past. And that's great. Because if we didn't accept that, then we wouldn't have got George Clooney as Batman returning. And it wouldn't have made me smile ear to ear, you know? He was great, honestly.
Gorgeous.
And even accepting the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Like everything, you know, the opening with the Justice League, that was like the best Justice League movie we've ever had, was the first 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it was at least better than the
I just
Justice
love
League.
how Alfred calls Barry, and he's like, Barry, we need you in Gotham. And he's like, well, haven't you tried Diana? Oh, Diana's busy. Haven't you tried Superman? And he looks up at the TV. He said, never mind. I know where he's at. And like, he's like, no, you need to go help Batman. You need to go fix this. He's like, why do I have to clean up the Bat mess?
I feel like
I love that.
I joined the Justice League, but I feel like I'm just the Justice League's custodian. I thought that was great. Now, when he put the baby in the microwave.
Oh, Jesus.
That was the part. And like, when the babies start falling out the windows, I was like, what the fuck? You don't do that.
No, but but
it was played as a joke, which was fine. But
Yeah.
Jesus, that was
God,
the most...
it was like what 15 babies,
Dude, I hated
And, like-
that. And I loved it so much, and I hated
and like
it.
you're thinking, oh God, because you see his watch, it says low energy, and you're like, oh God, how's he gonna do this? Because like he loses his energy, he's gonna be out of the Speed Force.
I mean, at no point did I think that they would actually kill any of these babies.
No,
right?
I didn't think so either. I was like, they're not gonna kill
never
babies.
know.
They're not gonna kill the babies.
But you never know.
No.
Like, what if that was a part of the story and he had to go back in time to fix that, to save these babies? You know what I mean? Like, we didn't know where it was going.
No. But I love how
It's a nightmare.
they played the vending machine and the food into it.
Yes.
While he was eating, he was just
So
gently pushing.
Well, and like you see, like a scalpel is getting ready to hit a baby. There's an explosion getting ready to hit a baby. There's like acid getting ready to hit a baby. And you see Barry, like he's like, you think he's going to save one of these babies, and he's really just going to the vending machine.
But and also I liked what Eric Voss said on New Rockstars, that you see Barry just barely touch them, or he's like moving the inanimate objects, because those babies could throw up.
Yes, because we see that with Barry later.
Yes. He's like, what did you do? He's like, I moved you.
Dude. I mean, and you're not supposed to shake a baby.
No.
So I mean, like, even just that would have been like, Jesus.
And just how it all, and the dog.
The end credits with just the dog falling.
And the baby's falling.
Dude, that's so great. That was such a great way to just end the movie, was with that dog
poor
falling.
nurse. I felt so bad for her at the end, and watching all those babies.
Oh my God, dude.
Going down on the bed. God.
But honestly, I mean,
he opens up the microwave, the baby.
Oh yeah, ding! Here you go, dude. It was so good. I loved seeing Ben Affleck's Batman again. Was wonderful.
Yeah, and his suit was awesome.
Yes, the blue and gray suit was so good.
They did very good there.
Yes, and I loved obviously getting Diana back.
Mm-hmm.
The post-credit scene about Aquaman was whatever. I mean, it was a joke.
Yes.
I feel like it was just played for a joke. And I feel like, honestly, the Clooney of it all, to me, plays kind of like Deadpool 2, I guess, spoiler alert for Deadpool 2. But like in the end credits, when he gets the watch and he goes back and changes basically the entire movie, you know? And like, so did he, like in Deadpool 3, did Deadpool 2 even actually happen? Or was the credits like real? And so like...
I'll laugh if they got Josh Brolin back.
Well, I mean, it's not even that. Like, just no. Vanessa being dead or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
well, and he comes back and says, you effed up history. I'm going to have to go back and fix what you did.
Yeah, because he tries to kill baby Hitler, right?
Yes.
And so, I mean, like, and all that, it's basically, it just depends on how they want to handle it in the third one, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what The Flash is doing here, in that, it's played as a joke, and if they want to build off of it and say he kept going back and fixing it, and finally he was able to fix it and also keep his dad out of prison.
Yeah.
I think they could get there if they even use any of this. This may just be forgotten to time anyway. Or, if they want to use Clooney, then they'll just say that it's legit. But to me, when he was talking to Aquaman and just the way he was phrasing things about like how they were all different Batmans, but they were all Bruce Wayne, and they all had very different lives, but they were all Batman still. Like, to me, because he was talking about it in the past tense, to me it came across like they had already fixed it. And so like when we're seeing this Aquaman, this isn't a different Aquaman. Like this is the DCEU.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, and like
Aquaman.
Like Barry has just already fixed whatever, and like whoever Batman is whoever Batman is.
Yeah,
whether that's Batfleck, and I don't even know if at that point Barry would even be aware of that it's not Batfleck.
Yeah,
that he would just accept, like, not even that he would accept it, but just the memories have all kind of collapsed on each other, and like. Yeah. To himself, Batman looks different.
Yeah.
And like he looks like he always looked, even though he looks different.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't even know if anything I said made any kind of sense.
I tried to stay with you there. Let's see, I'm trying to think. I really liked Iris, by the way.
Iris was great.
Yeah, I liked her.
I'm glad they got her back. She was cut out of the Justice League.
Yeah.
Which obviously she was in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
And I really think that I was talking to my brother Billy about this. And I think he said it, but I definitely was feeling the same way, that if you watch Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League, preferably the Zack Snyder Justice League and the Flash, that it's like a perfect universe.
No, I agree with that. I can totally see that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still some things that aren't completed, like the whole Nightmare Future stuff. But I feel like this movie, honestly, you could even use it to negate all of that, because Barry learns to not fuck with Tom.
Yeah. Also, I love how he figured he knew he could go back.
Yeah.
Because he was watching his mom and himself whenever he was little. I know it was like a flashback, but he was there in that neighborhood. But whenever he finds out that he could keep going, and like his head pops out when the babies are falling, and his face is like humongous.
Well, and I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the Justice League, he doesn't actually time travel. Like, that didn't happen in Justice League, right? That was only in the Zack Snyder one.
No, it was only in the Snyder
where he rewinds time a little bit, so
they have a few seconds.
Yeah, because the world was being destroyed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
No, you're right.
Because they mentioned that, like he said, he's like, oh, but he says it to Batman. He's like what happened in whatever that town was called in Russia, and he's like, but that was just a few seconds, Barry. Like, so I mean, they're referencing it, and I just, unless I'm forgetting in Justice League that they actually did it. I feel like they didn't. I mean, I know it was definitely more prominent in Zack Snyder's, because the Flash saved like that family.
Yeah,
that's what his story became in the Justice League.
Yeah,
so I feel like it definitely wasn't there.
Yeah.
Anyway, and all this may not matter. I mean, they may not. This just may not be a part of the DCU going forward.
No,
which is fun. And honestly, if this is, to me, no matter how Aquaman 2 works, to me, this is the end of the DCEU.
Oh, I agree.
Even if Blue Beetle takes place in the same universe, I will just always watch, like, if I ever go back and I'm like, oh, I want to rewatch the DCEU, I will go back and I will always end with the Flash. I feel like this is the perfect way to end this universe. Yeah.
I agree.
No matter, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe the Aquaman 2 is just going to be immaculate. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But,
until Tom Cruise says he got an early screen up and says this is the movie we need right now.
If they're gonna put our boy Patrick something, is that his name? I don't know.
It's Patrick something. I can't remember his name.
Fucking wig. Like, if they keep him in that wig,
don't put him in the wig, guys.
One thing we didn't bring up, I know we're going way too long in the tooth. It's like Transformers all over again. One thing we didn't bring up was the Flashpoint of it all.
Yeah,
we rewatched Flashpoint over the weekend, the animated Flashpoint movie, just to kind of have that fresh in our minds. Which I read the comics and stuff as they were happening. I really loved it, especially how it was used to set up the DC, the New 52, which led to the Supergirl Kara and stuff. Yeah, it was great, and then it just all got stupid. But well, I mean, Watchmen came in and stuff, which was fun.
Oh, I know,
like that part,
yeah,
that was fun. But then it just got even more confusing. And the Rebirth, and then the dark metal stuff. Anyway, the Batman Who Laughs. I just lost everything. No, the one. So they obviously changed this from Flashpoint. So
yes, they did.
I'm glad. At one point, this movie was called Flashpoint.
Yeah,
I'm glad they didn't do that, because I feel like that sets the wrong tone for this. They don't have Reverse Flash in this, which is fun.
Which, like I told you, I'm really glad that they didn't do.
It would have been way too much.
They didn't do Thawne, because I think that would have been way too much, too soon, too much.
Especially since the Flash TV show covers all that.
Yeah,
I feel like it would have felt way too samey.
Yeah.
Did you know they do Flashpoint on the Flash series?
Yeah, we watched it.
All right, I didn't know.
Yeah, we watched it together. I'm pretty certain.
I didn't know if you had already started watching it with me at that point.
No, because you was like, oh, it's Flashpoint!
And then it was like a week.
Yeah.
And then it was done. And I was like, this is fucking stupid. This is terrible.
But not having a nega version of himself was kind of nice. Like, not having it in that mood.
Yeah.
Because that's, to me, that's like something everybody does at some point.
And it just would have felt too thrown together.
Yes.
For this movie.
Yes.
I think the fact that it was Barry, that we knew Barry the whole time, and that he was his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
I feel like that worked, because we don't meet the villain until like the last 10 minutes of the movie. But we've actually known the villain the entire movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what makes that work. If we had thrown in the Reverse Flash at that point, I don't
think people would have liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked it as a comic book fan, probably, but no, it wouldn't have worked for sure.
And also, we both agreed that we kind of wish we got the Thomas Wayne aspect of it all, because of the payoff.
Just the payoff. Just the payoff is so good.
Because Thomas writes the letter to Bruce.
And Bruce gets the letter.
And he cries.
Yeah. And that's one of my favorite things that's ever happened in any comic book.
And it's so great.
It's just such a great thing.
And like in the animated movie, Thomas tells Barry, he's like, don't forget my son.
Yeah.
You can't forget about him.
He's like, if there's a chance that my son can live, then everybody can die or something. Like, and he's hardcore.
Yeah, he is. He's a Batman with guns.
Yeah, but in a good way. Like, because normally I'd hear that and be like, this sounds stupid. There was a Superman, and when Superman first came back, and like he didn't have any powers, and so he had all these guns and shit. I was like, this sucks. This is terrible.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm still, this movie being what it is, I'm totally fine that it's Keaton. I think it works better for this movie that it's Keaton than if they had done Negan from Walking Dead. I mean, which that would have been it just would have been a whole different movie.
Yes.
And that's fine. But I'm glad that we went this route with this one. I don't think we'll ever actually get a real Flashpoint, which is kind of a bummer. But at the same time, I mean, maybe in a couple dozen years, maybe we might get one. I mean, never say never.
No.
But I just feel like this movie is going to be so, like, it's so close to Flashpoint without actually being Flashpoint that it would be hard for them to do Flashpoint and it'd be different enough, you know?
Yeah. Also, I loved Supergirl. I liked, I mean, they did what they did in the comics, like you said.
Yeah, yeah.
They got Superman, but they kept him out of the sunlight and stuff. In which they show that in
Flashpoint.
I'm trying to catch my breath.
You're fine.
And like, I like the fact that they didn't do to Kara like they did to Clark in the animated. Yeah. Like, he could barely speak.
Well,
and like,
she was a little bit malnourished. Like, she was, when you first, and then when she gets the sun, it like it like builds her muscles and stuff. Yeah. No, I mean, they don't really pay, like, if you don't know what it's doing, you don't know. But like, if you know, you know.
Well, and not that just that part, but Clark just acted like, which I know he was a baby. He just socially
transmutate, like from Beast Wars. Friend, I am hurt. I'm glad she was a real person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now when Zod said that they killed Kal-El, like, holy fuck, man. That was like that he killed the baby. And so like now we want Zod dead.
Yes.
You know?
But that instant rage she just cuts on right there.
It's so good.
Yes, we have a super person that's gonna just throw
the shit out of him. Yeah. And I do hate that she lost. Yeah. Like, I get why. Honestly, I kind of wish she still would have got to kill Zod, and maybe Ursa got her in the end or something. But like, I get why it had to go that way for the story, but it just would have been nice to see her succeed. Yes. Which, granted, you could also make the argument that she's been locked down there for, decade or something, and like, it wouldn't make sense, like, for her to be super powerful and also a super great warrior and stuff. But I digress. I thought it was great, honestly. I mean, we've nerded out about this movie for like an hour at this point. It's really good. It's just really good. It was a blast. And as far as the Chrono Bowl special effects stuff, it looks the way it does. I mean, it's like,
you just got to deal with it.
The example I told Maggie, I was like, people are complaining about this not looking real, right?
Yeah.
Interstellar, the library. Mm-hmm. The library doesn't look real, you know?
It doesn't.
And it's because it's a fourth dimensional proximity of time that we can't view on 3-dimensional plane, you know? And so, like, that's why it looks fake as shit, because it's not supposed to look real. Yeah. And the Chrono Bowl is not supposed to look real. It's supposed to be like these awkward kind of like vignettes almost of,
Well, and I'll look at it as like, this is probably like overthinking it, but like, if you're inside Barry's Chrono Bowl and you see all these other worlds coming in,
yeah.
like, you got this energy around you.
Well, I mean, I'm not even talking about the worlds.
Well, I know.
I'm talking about like where you can see the past
the
and like the
timelines.
character people are like,
Yeah.
kind of almost cartoonish.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just the way that they're being.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how anything looks.
No.
And like, there's multiple versions. Like,
Yeah.
Not even versions. Like, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
All wrapped around because it's time.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
Time.
How's it supposed to look?
Time has layers.
Onions have layers. What about a cake, Shrek?
Parfaits have layers.
But no, I'm with you. And on like we said about the worlds, like them not wanting to be Uncanny Valley. I think that's a right choice.
You can't do that crap, man. That's only you don't want Zemeckis.
No,
you don't want that stuff, guys.
Yeah,
you don't want Polar Express.
We're
man.
talking about Polar Express. Yeah. Not Forrest Gump, Zemeckis.
No,
yeah.
You don't want that.
So I mean, I don't know. I thought the effects were great.
I mean, thought so too.
I didn't think they're
at first it did like
it was jarring a little.
Yeah, like wherever you see Christopher Reeve, because like George Reeves to me, like it was in black and white.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then it shows Christopher Reeve and Supergirl. And I was like, Helen Slater. I was like, okay, I think I can roll with this. Yeah. And like the more the show's like, all right, I can do this.
Spoiler alert for Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah,
it looked a hell of a lot better than friggin' Luke Skywalker looked at the end of that.
Yeah,
a hell of a lot better.
Yes.
And a lot of the times when you do this de-aging stuff, it does not look good.
No,
I mean even Admiral Tarkin in Rogue One, just complete CGI.
Oh, that
looked bad.
That's kind of scared me.
Like I feel like the Christopher Reeve stuff, like, and some people were complaining that they did it at all.
Oh, I know. They're like, you did disrespect to Christopher Reeve. You did disrespect to Adam West. And
Listen,
I was like,
if the family signs off on it, I think it's okay. I don't think you should,
I was like, the studio just doesn't go in and goes all bonkers over these IPs. Like, they actually ask the families about it.
My iPad's about to start. So I mean, I'm not looking at chat now.
Oh,
so
okay. It's okay. I got it. I got 2 screens with chat, so I'm good.
Last few things. Andy Machete says 3 of the cameos that were cut from The Flash included Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, Marlon Brando's Jor-El, and Cesar Romero's the Joker.
Yeah.
Andy Machete also says that he had a 4-hour version of The Flash, but the theatrical cut is the best. There's a lot of things that are in the movie that are on the edit room floor, but this is really the best version of the movie. So don't go looking for the Machete cut.
Please don't.
And then
he says this is the best, so we'll take his word for it.
James Gunn said the same thing about Suicide Squad.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, this is the cut of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Sasha says that she has met with Peter Safran about her future as Supergirl. It felt like my whole life was preparing me for this role in a way. Yeah. She got a call from Melissa Benoist, who was like talking about like they talked about Supergirl and stuff. Aww. And like she gave her like her blessing and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I don't know if she talked to Helen Slater, but maybe
I could see.
I could totally see that.
I could totally see that.
But yeah, it was great. So I guess let's go ahead and get into our rankings before my iPad dies. So our first one.
We need to head out of spoilers.
Yes. We are done with spoilers, everybody. Spoilers are over. It was a long one. So let me get Letterboxd pulled up. We're gonna get into.
There's
our
a lot
rankings.
to talk about.
It's just too good to talk about. Like to just go through it too quickly, you know. Especially on the spoiler side. So we'll go ahead and do the DCEU, and then we'll do our normal ranking. So currently, our list for the DCEU, I think we actually went back and fixed it after Peacemaker.
Okay.
So, which I don't know. I guess Peacemaker came out before. Anyway, so current ranking, there are 14 movies. We got number 14, Wonder Woman 1984. Number 13, The Justice League. Number 12, Suicide Squad. Number 11, Wonder Woman. Number 10, Aquaman. Number 9, Black Adam. Number 8, Shazam. Number 7, Shazam 2. That's when we fixed it.
That's what it is.
Number 6, Birds of Prey. Number 5, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Number 4, Batman v Superman. Number 3, Peacemaker. Number 2, The Suicide Squad. And at number 1, Man of Steel.
Oh.
Maggie, where do you want to put The Flash. How dare you? I already know what you're going to say.
Number one.
You're going to say number one. I don't know if my love of Superman can allow me to do that. Okay? I just don't know. I don't know. Because
I'm okay with number two.
I mean, but it was amazing. So I don't know. This is harder than the 2023 ranking. Okay.
Yeah, because we already agreed on it.
Dude, I don't know. I love Man of Steel. This is a hard.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
Number one.
Nuh-uh.
I'm putting it number one.
Okay.
It was amazing. I love Man of Steel.
Yeah.
But I also loved Man of Steel because I finally got Superman. But it's not the best version of Superman. All right. He's great and I love it, and I love what Zack Snyder does, and I love that it ends his whole run, ends up with Superman becoming the Superman that we know and love, the full of hope and all that stuff, and he had to go through death to get there. And I get all of that. But this movie, The Flash, again, perfectly encapsulates the character, has a great lesson to learn, gives us some of the best things that I've ever seen in a movie, period. And it's just, it's great. It's the best movie in the DCEU. Oh, God. I hate everything right now.
I knew it.
All right. So now let's rank summer 2023 so far.
Oh, boy.
At number 6, Fast X. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Number 4, Succession. Number 3, Rise of the Beast. We're stupid. We should not have put Succession under that. There's no way.
We even talked about it last week. We're like, we should do this. We should do this.
Just so it could be our new Jurassic World.
Yes.
What is it? Maverick?
Maverick, yeah.
All right. Number 2, Little Mermaid. And number 1, Across the Spider-Verse. Maggie. Where do you want to put the Flash?
What did we say in the car, man?
I remember what we said, but listen, I had to own it for Man of Steel, so you have to own this one. I can't own both of them. I can't have the internet.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I love Across the Spider-Verse. However, The Flash is number 1 right now.
Oh my God.
Bitches.
Dude, the internet is gonna tear us a fucking new asshole, man. Like, you're gonna tear us apart. But I don't care.
But this is our list. We are not critics.
We're not saying that The Flash is a better made film, or that it even has half as much.
Spider-Verse better get like Best Animated Picture of the Year. It better like win a butt ton of awards. It should.
The main reason, okay, and again, we absolutely love Across the Spider-Verse, but where we came down to it in the car was that Across the Spider-Verse, at the end of the day, is not a complete story.
No,
it's not, and it's a great story, and it's setting up a complete story.
Yes,
and I have every faith that they will succeed in doing it. But The Flash is just a complete story.
And how many of you all got mad?
At it saying to be continued.
Yes. How many of y'all got mad that it said to be continued?
It's true.
And I heard about children losing it. I heard about adults losing it.
Which, again, I appreciate that it was. Like, I like the idea of long stories. You know that. That's why.
I do too.
But if we're looking at them as individual pieces, not as parts of a whole. Like, I mean, if we want to put the DCEU up against the Spider-Verse then yeah, Spider-Verse would kill it, obviously. Yes. But if we're just talking about just these individual movies, The Flash and Across the Spider-Verse, The Flash is a fully self-contained story that begins, ends, doesn't set up 5 other movies. It completely introduces us to the bad guy, pays off the bad guy, you learn something about the character, you learn something about yourself if you're willing to give it a fucking chance to do that. And it is just one of the fact that they even pulled it off is insane. It's insane. I don't think they could pull off Across the Spider-Verse in live action. I don't think that could happen.
No.
Like, I mean, we even saw No Way Home.
Yeah.
And like that got close.
It got close.
And like, but it definitely didn't have the style. And like, you can only do that movie in animation, which is great. And I think at one point you could have made the argument that The Flash could only work in animation.
Yes.
But they made this work.
They made this work.
New number one. Your new ranking. Number 1, The Flash. Number 2, Across the Spider-Verse. Number 3, The Little Mermaid. Number 4, Rise of the Beast. Number 5, Succession. Number 6, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And number 7, Fast X. Next week on the Hopefully Awesome Show, we don't know yet.
We don't know.
Not gonna lie. We're not going to a movie, so there may be stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, there may be stuff we catch up on. We'll let you know. Just keep a lookout right here on youtube.com/hopefullyawesome. We'll post about it. We in our community tab.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're subscribed to us, it'll just pop up in your feed. Or you can follow us over at Twitter at Hopefully Awesome. You can actually see it right there. Look at that. I didn't. Perfect. Speaking of things that popped up, boom. Patreon.com/hopefullyawesome, where you can get your name in the credits of every podcast episode we do, every video we do, just like these fine folks over here. $5 a month not only gets you your name in every video, but you also get our movie commentary each month. This month, Tiny Toon Adventures, How I Spent My Summer Vacation, is our movie commentary for
Please come and join us.
Last month we did a Goofy movie, so just throwing that out there. And then the month before that was Super Mario Brothers.
Man.
Yeah, it's been a big run, let me tell you. And you also get Matt plus Maggie, our monthly exclusive Patreon web series. So, again, patreon.com/hopefullyawesome. Join us tomorrow for going back to Smallville live right here at 9 o'clock. And on Wednesday, back again at 9, live for Going Back to the Sewers, where we'll be revisiting Maggie's favorite Turtles movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990. The first one. We watched it today.
And I knew every word to it.
I can't wait to talk about it.
I can't.
That's going to wrap it up for us, everybody. Thanks for watching. And as always,
have a hopefully awesome day.
Bye.